Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mars Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra London. We are here live and direct. Today is the 27th day of July 2024. Tata bo oboche afo. Tata bo oboche afo. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers. Even do not deny your enemies listening onto this hallowed platform, because this is a revolutionary radio. This is where emancipation is being preached. Therefore, this is where it all started by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Okuchukwu Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon. It doesn't matter what happens. Nigeria is a lawless entity, but he must be released. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned right from Kenya down to Nigeria, breaking international laws. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is also a British citizen, but Britain is just playing pranks because they believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is calling for sanity in what Britain created as a country, the artificial entity, that hellhole called Nigeria, where lives do not matter, where governance is absolutely absent. All these are just for the interest of Britain. That is what they created. But we are trying to take what belongs to us, take back our destiny, because in Nigeria we have no destiny. Therefore, I urge each and every one of you to call your friends and we shall tell them that Radio Biafra FM CHK is back on air in some areas of Imo State and Anambra axis as follows: Akokwa, Oga, Achina, Aguata, Umuchu, Enugu Mwanya, Enugu Munya, Akbo, Umunze, and some parts of Ekulobia, Urumba in Anambra State. Therefore, you have no excuse not to tune in to listen to this hallowed platform. Moreover, we are also on satellite. We are live on satellite, free to air satellite. We are on satellite. Once you search for Radio Biafra on the radio side of the satellite, you will see us. You'll be hearing us live and direct. Moreover, you can download IPOB Community Radio. IPOB Community Radio is a very low data consuming application. Once you download IPOB Community Radio, you'll be listening to us. Also, you download Simple Radio. Simple Radio. Once you download Simple Radio, you scroll, you search for Radio Biafra London, and you'll be hearing the good news. Moreover, you can go to our homepage, www.ipob.org. ipob.org. There you will see Radio Biafra London live. Now you click, you'll be listening. Also, there is another platform in the same ipob.org for donation, because what we are doing needs finance. What we are doing, do this, do this. I don't know how many people have forgotten that Immediately our leader was renditioned, they blocked our fund. Then just to sit down on our fund. Let me tell you, many, all of them, they are even surprised how IPOB is still managing, is still surviving, including that Nanyanya. Because, once you want to deal with or destroy a movement of this magnitude, you block the funding, finish. Nearly dry off. Block the funding, and everything will dry off. So, but they are surprised that we are still going on, moving from strength to strength. So that is what you have to understand. When you are saying the DOA should do this, the DOA, you need funding. You don't vomit money. Is money, and it is being financed by all of us. That is why I am urging you to go to donate. Enter ipob.org. Now you go to the donate platform, the donate section, and you enter PayPal. You donate through PayPal. It is a collective effort. They tried everything to destroy IPOB. Anyhow, from within, from without, the finance, anything, everything they tried. But they saw that we are still moving on. Radio Biafra is still blasting. Our rallying point, where we worship. Have you forgotten? This is where we worship. Therefore, we must continue until Biafra is restored. Do not forget that today is the 27th of July 2024. Tata Bobo Chiafo, a day that is dedicated to religious discussions, which will continue in no distant time. But before that, I will try to go into some news headlines on what is happening. What is trending now in Nigeria is the so-called take it back protests by Nigerians. Has there been a time that Nigerians have their country? First, the country was created by a foreigner, which is unnatural. There is no time that Nigeria belongs to Nigerians. Not a time. No time at all. So when they say take it back, now let us continue in that. Now, this protest, why is the Nigerian government being hysterical about the protest? There are two things I'm seeing there. Either they are genuinely worried that all those their lootings and all those their evil-mindedness, the anger of the people have risen, or they are just trying to make people feel that, oh, they are afraid. Hey, we are afraid though. What can we do? Hey, this and that. Whereas they are laughing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? These are the two things. These are the two situations I am seeing, because the way the Nigerian government is trending this so-called protest, no, these are this in a democracy. Have you seen that Nigeria is not a country? Have you seen BBC or Britain talk about this? That Nigeria is a democracy that should not be, afraid of protests. He who is down fears no fall. But let me tell you, Biafrans are not involved. Biafrans, we we should never, no Biafran should ever, ever be involved in this so-called protest, because there is nothing Nigerians can achieve. I am telling you, there is nothing Nigerians can achieve. When the police commissioner, Nigerian police commissioner, talks about the protesters being bandits and Boko Haram, and let me tell you, they have organized all these. They have organized them, and there is even a news headline that let me see. Government-sponsored cultists mobilized to Lagos, lodged in hotels to disrupt and bad governance in Nigeria protests. It's a news headline. So they know how to do all these things. They have mobilized their bandits, the Boko Harams, which they call repentant. They will use them. Remember, that is how they act, in order to justify killing of everybody. And I played a clip about one military official, one military man, Nigerian military. He said he's from Weather Cross River, a Christian, lamenting how their commander hates them that are Christians. They are not ashamed. You have a gun, and all the time you lament. There is a place I played the clip. The guy said, since he was recruited into the army since 2013, he had been serving in the Nigerian military. That it was the first uniform they provided for him. Nigerian government provided for him. Only the first uniform. From that time till today, he used to buy his own uniform. And do you know what? He said that's why they used to go. He's justifying the reason why the Nigerian military are on checkpoints collecting money. Do you see that Nigeria is a quagmire? Do you see the reason why I tell you that it is not about, some people say, oh, change the government. No. It is the mentality of the people, Nigerians. This is a typical of what I'm saying. Now, in order for these people to survive, instead of fighting for survival, the right channel, instead of they have gone, they outnumber all those their superior officers. They outnumber them by far. Instead of joining hands together and killing all those officials, no. Instead of doing revolution against the high-ranking officials, no. Now, what they did is, what will they do? They will go and start, subjugating innocent citizens. That is the way they raise the money to feed, to buy a uniform. That is Nigerian solution. That is, do you see, the mentality is fundamentally flawed. Instead of fighting or doing the right fight, they say no, they will not do. Instead, they'll turn around and be subjugating the same miserable people that are, that are hungry like them, that are suffering like the military. And this boy that is talking now, you pity him. Oh, he say he's a Christian. I don't want to use F word on A for him. They are the people that will be brought out to kill the protesters. Do you see how, when people say, no, the problem of Nigeria is by the government, I say, no. It is the mentality of the people. It is the people, the population, the mentality. When, they know the problem. Nigerians are fundamentally insincere. They are dishonest set of people. They are not sincere. They know the problem. They know where the problem is coming from. They will not go there. Instead, they will look for soft spot. They will look for miserable people that are suffering like them. They will go, Gazohi Kenan. These are the people, including their counterparts, the police, all of them, the same, suffering the same thing. You sometimes, if you go to where police, the police quarters where they are living, you cannot even eat on the Ruabo. You cannot be able to eat. You will be vomiting. But these are, instead of these people to rise up against the hierarchy of those that are looting their funds, of those that are keeping them in this sorry situation, you know what they will do? They will go turn around and start suffering, killing the innocent people that are still suffering like them. Do you see why I say is the mentality? Do you see that? I think you have understood me now. Here what I go my point. Do you see? Because this guy that is talking now, if they will send him now, go and shoot, to kill any protester, kill, and he will go out and kill. But the people are protesting for him on his behalf, on the behalf of the police. But they will still send them to go and kill, and they say, yeah, I'm obeying order. That's why fella called them zombie. Zombie no they stop until they tell them stop. Zombie, they are obeying order. You don't know that the European countries that you are seeing developed today, developed countries, they rose up against the hierarchy. They disobeyed others. That is why their countries are developed. They disobeyed others and channeled their anger to the right sources. Are you hearing me? But in the case of Nigeria, no way. You see, they want me to disobey order now. No, but the person that is saying to disobey order, they don't want to disobey order. Since 2013, he was inside the military. They never give him any uniform. He's buying it by himself. You know, that's why I say Nigeria is not like any other country. Can you hear this? Even in the poorest African country, it doesn't happen. That Nigerian police, Nigerian military, boys and girls, they buy their own uniforms. They purchase their own uniforms. The boys said their commander sells uniform. If they carry the uniforms, they give the commander in order to distribute, he will be selling it to them and selling it double the price. And all of them, both the chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, all of them have shares. The mentality of Nigerians is fundamentally flawed. That is it. That is why we will not stop about religion, because they also use religion to destroy our mentality. Whereas the government is where everybody should face in order to better our lives in different ways. Hold the government responsible, hold people in power responsible. No, Nigerian clergy, both the Islam, Christianity, they now turn the people's mind, say, no, the government is not your problem, it's Satan, it's demon. Continue fighting demon. Now, once you give, God is in control of everything. If you give God money, the Almighty God, they have everything, but they lacks money. It's money you don't have. So if you give him, he will just give you more. He will bless you. Do you see how they destroy the mentality? The same thing. The same thing. Aga hapo ihena ikenyo na ahuru na ekishi okpo. That is Nigeria for you. They know the problem. But because they believe that there is nothing we can do, now they turn against the soft spot, the soft, you see, just like terrorists. Nigerians are terrorists, terrorizing themselves. They will see the people that are causing their problems. They will feel, powerless against them. They say, "Nah, I beg, leave them for God, and God go judge them." They will turn against their own brothers that are suffering, and they will now unleash the venom on them. That is why Nigerians are mad. All Nigerians are they think that they are normal. All are mad. You see, in a sane country where people think not rationally, when the junior military officers When they are not receiving their due and they are dying, they are being sent to war fronts, they are dying, no uniform for them, no arm. I saw also this thing, a news where it said Nigerian army dismisses 6 soldiers for fleeing during Boko Haram attack in Borno over alleged lack of ammunition. They shoot the ammunition, they ration ammunition for them after finishing. Boko Haram that has more arms and ammunition, shooting them, they run after finishing the ammunition, and the Nigerian government is dismissing them. Do you see that Nigeria doesn't make sense? Do you now agree with us that Nigeria does not make any sense? They say you say stay there until you die. Oga, I don't have any ammunition. It's finished. If I have ammunitions, adequate equipments, I will fight them back. They say no, it doesn't matter. You stay there and die. That is your portion. Do you see what is happening? All this things, does Nigeria make sense? The people you are defending, instead of them to, they have guns, they have mortar bombs, they have every type of war materials with them. Because they are the people firing. The Ogas have only pistol with them. Instead of maybe 1, 2, 3 of them, always once you hear Oga come, you target him and kill him. That general, you kill him. When they kill them once, twice, thrice, 4 times, they will understand. No, they will not do it. They say, no, these people, I cannot do anything for them. I cannot do them anything. No, now God go punish them. Now God go handle them. Now let me go back to bloody civilians that are miserable like me, collecting their money. They don't know this collecting money on the streets, that they are indirectly killing people. They are causing stress on people. But that is their solution. It's Nigeria's solution. Do you see that? Do you see why we want to run away from that hellhole? Because nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. They are talking about protest, as if protest is from another planet. In a democracy, why are they afraid of protest? Why? These are Nigerian protests, so not for Biafrans, please. Because we know, we have known we make a sound judgment. You see different both Kwankwaso, he say he openly he is endorsing the protest. You see different Hausa and Fulani politicians. Kwankwaso was a presidential candidate. He said he's endorsing the protest. But look at how they were pursuing somebody that is even afraid to talk, Obi. That he is the person organizing it. Because they always look for cheap, very cheap and powerless, weakest point. That is where they go. Oh, Obi said, no, not me. I didn't talk about but the people that are openly endorsing it, they don't even go there. What does it tell you? What does it tell you? That Igbos are regarded as slaves in Nigeria. I'm telling you honestly, it's a fact. Peter Obi never, he is afraid of which normally under normal circumstances in a democracy, he is his opposition. He can organize a protest. After all, Tinubu Buhari, they organized the protest in 2014. Openly, they led the protest. Heaven did not fall. But today, once they hear protest, they say it's Obi, it's IPOB, it's people that they want us to remove ourselves, and they're happy. And IPOB is not involved in this protest. No Biafran should engage himself. Anywhere you are, whether in the north, east, west, south, you don't enter. And they are happy about it. I know that. That's why they started from IPOB, P2B, this. But Kwankwaso said, I am endorsing the protest. Did you see is it Oyenuga and any talk about him? And then when nobody went now. Here I know Nigeria. I know no pere. Now I told you, always afraid. What shall we do today? And they will talk us. Is Igbo. So I now no buy now no piang. Every time I told you, now hey, they will say, hey, well, before they will say, and they are saying. But the people are openly endorsing. Northern politicians are endorsing to tell you that now we own the country. Waiting. What have you got to say about it? Is this supposed to be our country? The answer is no. It's a very low life judgment of Azikiwe that brought us here. Otherwise, at the early time when Ahmad Bello was talking about Araba, himself we say even we Britain, please, the way you carry us here, we are not. These people are not interested. We are not the same people. Let us. Even if they agree for us to stay, me, I'm not. I will not agree. Do you see? But Azikiwe was there thinking that brain on Igbo. Not, don't worry, everything. I'll be the. He'll be. As Ahmad Bello was doing Ishike, they are negotiating with him because they feel that, once they see that you are strong, you are doing strong head, it's you that will concentrate to bring you, mellow you down. They will negotiate with you, pamper you. But once they see that you are not a troublemaker, like a chicken, it's not a troublemaker. The whole animal say, okay, now you we go to use will be used for sacrifice. Can you use a lion for sacrifice? The answer is no, because he's a troublemaker. So in Nigeria, well, they say, oh, we are peaceful people. Before I thought it was a gratification. But immediately I found out that it is a mockery, that we are weak. Anytime I hear people talk about, oh, we indeed, why a peaceful set of people? What did you achieve with the peace? Tell me. You'll be a peaceful person in the midst of troublemakers, colonialists, conquerors. You become the victim. That is what will happen to us. Until we rise up and say, look at last 2 days when I was broadcasting, when a report given to us by one brother, one comrade in Aba, they kill us anyhow. They don't dare do it in the north. Otherwise, you die with all of you will die, whether you have gun or you don't have gun. But we are peacemakers now, people that love life. Are we living life in Nigeria? Yeah, tell me, is Igbos living? Are we really living life? The answer is no. So, this noise they are making about the protest, it is, a failure right from beginning. There will be no positive result. 1st August will come and go, and nothing will happen. Instead, they will look for Onyamini to kill. That is why if you're an Igbo man, if you come out, now you sacrifice yourself. Nigeria is not for us. We are not for Nigeria. Are you hearing me? We are not for Nigeria. Nigeria is not for us. This is what Azikiwe should have understood right from time. But he lacked sound judgment. And we shall never continue making this type of mistakes. Nigeria can be fixed. If there is no if, Nigeria is unfixable, for your information. Because the creation of Nigeria as a country is unnatural. How people, different nations that has no business being together, we are joined together. Do you know, I think 2010 or 11, when Gaddafi came to Nigeria, I've said this several times. I brought out the news headline that day. Gaddafi looked the situation of Nigeria, being an honorable man, a very frank human being, telling himself the truth. He was not moved by Pan-Africanism. No, we must stay together. As some people are idiotically and foolishly saying. Who is more Pan-Africanist than Gaddafi? Just tell me. Do you see any real more Pan-Africanist as Gaddafi? Gaddafi tried everything to fix Africans. Are you hearing me? He wants Africa to be in a bulk so that we can talk, we can mess, and it will smell. That is what Gaddafi wants. That is Pan-African, a pure Pan-Africanist, for your information. And he put it in practice. But when he came to Nigeria, I think either 2010 or 2011, Gaddafi saw the situation of Nigeria first hand, the first class, first hand. He said, no. Do you know what? To tell you people the truth, Nigeria should be divided. He said Nigeria should be divided. Nigerians, these people he saw, they don't have business being together as one country. You divide Nigeria, you have peace. Different nations that came out from that country will be developing. But you keep Nigeria one as Britain. The creator of Nigeria wants Nigeria one at all costs. At all costs. And it is at the cost of Nigerian lives. Look at Owerri today in Imo State. How kidnappers, how cannibals, people eating human flesh and buying human organs. They are there in Owerri today, in Imo, courtesy of Hope Uzodinma. Because when an evil man is in charge, evil is everywhere. Do you see? Since Hope Uzodinma have been in power, Imo State is scattered. I used to say the problem of our people is selfishness. If this guy is not selfish, he will not be in there. He will not be there. Even if they want to impose him, they want to put him there. He said, no. He will tell his handler, say, no, this one too much. If I enter there, I love my people. The blood of my people does not merit my political ambition. I used to quote Jonathan. Jonathan was able to quote this because he is fighting with the foreigners, with a Fulani caliphate. Now, no more. He cannot fight again. That's he's a Igbo man. That is it. On the Igbo, mostly Imagine that good luck Jonathan was a governor of Bayelsa and another incumbent governor after 4 years, and another person came to win him, and he will just surrender. Which Biafran governor have done it? He will just congratulate his opponent and say, now you win. Look at what is happening in Bayelsa. Pure war between Fubara and Wike. Now, the blood of their people, their political ambition merits the blood of their people. But had it been in the national level in Assert, and it is a full and now that time he will become peaceful. Because only at the house. You understand? When they see where foreigners that they're supposed to use that power on, they no, I'm peaceful. I'm a peacemaker now. You don't know, because he's afraid. He's weak, or a weak person. That's what Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have been calling right from time. Jonathan, he said he's a very weak person. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu said sometime, he said how he wished that it was Patience Jonathan that was there as the president. Because the wife is more bold than him, more fearless than Jonathan. Jonathan is a weak individual. He's a weak person. The blood of Nigerians, my political ambition does not merit the blood of Nigerians. But in Bayelsa, the blood of Bayelsans merit political positions, isn't it? Do you see the hypocrisy? But in their land, they will be strong. They will now instead let us destroy it. Do you see how primitive our people are? Do you see that? Fulani, they fight like Buhari. Buhari said it openly. Said if he didn't win, if they didn't give him the office, the blood of monkeys and baboons will flow on the streets. Can any Biafran make that statement? Now, I say it, you're very weak. You know, what IPOB is trying to do is to awaken us that we are not a weak people. They weakened us after defeating us in the war. Now they continue using both religion to weaken our race, and that is why we are here, where we are today. We cannot fight back. Oh, peace. Well, we want peace. Oh, peace. We are peaceful people. Come on, get out again of peace. You are the victim of the peace. It's only a weak person talks about peace, 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 peace. Look at Russia and the West. Russia and the West. Do you see Russia talking in a hurry? Let's peace. No. Because it's strong. It can handle them. All of them. That is it. When you are weak, you say, nah, peace, peace. That's why when they talk about negotiation of Mazin Namdekano release, I'm laughing in Igbo language. I'm laughing. What is the basis of the negotiation? Okay, we come out and start doing Biafra in Nigeria system, Wazirike style. Because that is the only thing Nigeria will know. That is the only thing. Just you call out and start doing Biafra the way we want you to do it. No more going to radio, no more this and that. If you go, there is a way you no longer talk bold like before. Because in a condition so that I potassium Biafra. That is only negotiation, nothing more. Unless we force them, it is IPOB that should force them to start calling for negotiation. Now, we don't know what is happening. No, Nigerian, where are people we should talk to? That is how it's supposed to be. Okay, we will talk to your leader in order to pacify them. Oh, no, God, that is how it should be. Mana, the lawyer, we negotiate. I have chosen who to negotiate with. Judge say the prosecutor say, I am just an employee. I'm hired by the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF. So I cannot take decision. And then amazing her guy. What do you think that will come out of that negotiation? What do you think? What do you think that will come out? The so-called negotiation. You have to apologize to us now that what you have done, what you have spoken, this and that. Oh yeah, and you have to. You no longer will be doing it like that. We will give you a blueprint of how you give your command, on how you go, in order for you to maintain your legitimacy in the eyes of people, because governments, they know it. When they destroy you, they will give you a soft spot to move, the leeway in order to move out of the shame. Say, we know what you'll be feeling, but we'll handle it. We'll dish out money. Don't worry, money will be there. All those people around you that you used to, you empower them with money, and they will continue singing your praises. When you could about you, anything bad about the main attack, there will be money. Don't worry about that. That is the only thing the terms of negotiation. That is why we are at large. Are you hearing me? Because you see this struggle, no person can sell this struggle. It doesn't matter who. People have died. Even since the rendition of our leader, because of his rendition, many people died. Many people were deceived into believing lies, and he made mistakes. Many died because of it. So how do you think? I don't know. I say, if we sell IPOB, it is even heaven, earth, air, water will never forgive us. Fire will never forgive us. They will make all the Igbo to suffer, kind of begodo just preamble. Make generations to suffer because you spill blood and you stop or you deceive them. It will not happen under our watch. That's why we must continue. In everything I say, we must continue. So let me reiterate. No Biafran is expected to join this their so-called over media, over blow the protests. After that time, you will see. They will come back to status quo. They will start fighting. You know, they have the ethnicity there is there now. So it's Nnamdi Kanu. It's him that started it. It's him that organized it. IPOB is IPOB. They have organized everything. That is why they are coming now openly, siding the protests. Openly. Kwankwaso said he is for the protest. Openly. Can you do him anything? Go later, Yenuga, what is his name? The Yoruba ethnic bigots. Let him talk against Kwakwanso now. They know the repercussion. How as chickens anywhere. Look at a young man like this guy that died, this senator. What is his name again? Ifanyoba. That just died. No person know what happened. He died in a hotel. They will not tell you. You never know the real story of what happened. Maybe will advance the poison. You know, and I supply you how with advanced poison. You know, you don't know. You never can tell what happened to him. A young man like that died in a hotel. You see that? So they know what they are doing. Biafrans, we must focus. Our focus is Biafra, not Nigeria. Any person that is telling you that they will do protests and Nigeria will be better, take Nigeria back. He's just like trying to make him or herself happy. It can never happen. Akaji Nigeria, the hand that is grasping Nigeria is too much. The hand behind Nigeria is too much. Nigeria is not like any other country. That is it. That is why we are clamoring, fighting, agitating, so that basis, that Nigeria, that entity will collapse. Once it collapses, now people will be liberated. That is the only thing. That is the only solution, nothing more. For better Nigeria, how will you better Nigeria? Nonsense. So, Biafrans, please, do not indulge in all this nonsense. They call protests to make Nigeria better. For how long? Every time some pray for Nigeria, will make Nigeria better. How many years till today? Since I was born, is what I've been hearing. I could remember when we were little, we heard that military has taken over in radio. I will never forget the jubilation of my father. Anyo Maka. Hey, military taken over. Here got them man in Nigeria. That time, 80s. 80s. I'm not wonder, see, what does military mean? What I don't understand things. Oh, why kind of till today? Nigeria go better. Hey, it go better. Hey, if we do this, it go better. You are deceiving yourself. You are lying to yourself. The worst lie is lying to yourself. That is it. Therefore, we must continue what we are doing. No distractions. No distractions. I remember tomorrow being Sunday, Mazi Chinas and Woro will be coming on BTV on a live program or a live interview on Biafra television. Are you hearing me? On Biafra television. So please, you will tune in. You will tune in. So join Mazichina Sanworo on a landmark live interview on Biafra television. And the host will be Mazi Ikem Patrick and Wada Jovita Chichi, Wada Chichi, that is doing good, nice job with our comrade Mazi Patrick, the old guy, in the journey, in the issue. So please join by 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, 28th July 2024 on Biafra Television. Mazi Chinasanworo will be live there on some interviews. Therefore, let me go into the subject matter of today. Remember that today we discuss religious issues, please. That is Saturday. That is how it was, it has been, and it will continue to be, because any person that is telling you that let us minimize the effect of religion in our lives, you are lying to yourself. You are not honest. You know, we don't want to be Nigerians that are not honest to themselves. We are honest to ourselves. That's why we tell ourselves the truth. It doesn't matter how bitter it is. It doesn't matter how sore it is. But we tell it to ourselves. That is it. Because we want healing. We want healing from the sick. We know we are sick. So we are giving ourselves the bitter pills, but it heals. Therefore, under the Living Continuous Colonial Legacy series, today I'm going to talk about our standard for morality. Our standard for morality, because the colonialists, they came to us, they brainwash us to accept that we had no morality before they came. That we have the history of our history started with their coming. That we are savages. That is why I am telling you, I've been saying this. As a Biafran, if you are professing your goodness, for example, you pick somebody's phone. Let me give you example that everybody can understand. Somebody lost his or her phone and you picked it, and the person called you. It doesn't matter it's iPhone 20. It doesn't matter it's a very costly phone. The person called you and you pick. He said, please, I will pay you. Please help me. The phone. You say, madam, don't worry. I am so pleased. Come and take your phone. And maybe the person will not believe it. But as he drove or she drove to that point, you are there waiting your phone. Maybe you gave her the phone. He gave you some money. Take this 50,000. Just take a enter Oba, please. Just take the. He said no. He said, but I'm surprised. What? You gave me back my phone and you don't even want to take money? Why are you doing this? You see, a misguided fellow will say, I'm a Christian. Chai. Oh. That time, you sold yourself. You confirm the fact that the Europeans, they called us savages. So they brought morality to us. So it is Christianity that made you behave like a human being, like a frank person. That our our ancestors were savages. That is what you are confirming without you knowing it. Instead of you said, no, that's I'm a Biafra, I'm Igbo man. I'm a Biafran. We don't take what belongs to others. No, we don't steal. That is in our blood. You praise your race, praise yourself. That is how it's supposed to be. Not no. You know what? I'm a born again Christian. That is why you have sold yourself in your wardens without knowing it. You understand that? If you do something good character that baffles somebody, hey, why are you doing this? Now, wow, you say, no, I'm a Christian now. That's why you are simply confirming that you're a slave. That the propaganda being brought up by the Europeans against us, that you are confirming it, consolidating it, that it is correct. That, it is them that turned us to be morally good, to have morals. Without their coming to colonize us, that we wouldn't be moral. That we'll be eating each other. That is what you confirm. That is why I'm talking about living in the series of Living Continuous Colonial Legacy. I'm talking about our standard for morality. That is what I'm talking about today. Because when you see people, when I listen to some people, I laugh. That's why I always ask for, when the lines open, please bring your opposing argument. I not choosy debate for us to learn, but they run. That is one thing I cannot understand. I have made even frantic efforts privately for some people. Let us debate on these issues. We are not fighting, but they run. But when they, I cannot understand. Is it not the same thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he was telling Nigerians, please, I want you to call me anywhere as long as it is live and direct program. I'll be able to answer you. So that we debate. He said, convince me why I should drop what I'm doing. So why we should continue with Nigeria. Convince me. It's a debate. I want some, even a challenge, both Wolo Seinka, everybody say, please, how many years you have been challenging? Everybody run away. Because they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has superior arguments. That's why I'm calling. If you are worthy, if you want, before you can say, oh, it's me that handles the microphone, call me. Say, please, Mazi, I would like to for us to be on live debate on so place. I will be there. I will answer. Now, we are not fighting. This ideological matter is not about fighting. No, we are mapping, charting the better. We are trying to chart out the best part for all of us. It's not about individual issue. It's not about individual benefit. No. What am I benefiting? It's our, so that we become wise. Because these discussions, these debates is what put Europe in the right direction today, and they are developed. So why can't we engage on it? Why do you still believe that a religious discussion is anathema? No, believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. If it is like that, why are we talking on radio? Why are we trying to convince people that Biafra is the best? Why are we talking? We will tell people, oh yeah, be in Nigeria, believe what you believe. You believe in Nigeria, say, oh yeah. We be in Biafra. So that statement is fundamentally flawed. You cannot tell me you believe what you believe, whereas you are lying, whereas I see many bad things in what you believe, which you are not sincere to yourself. No. We want to bring out the best so that it will be the basis of our belief. That is what we are doing here. So that people should stop deceiving people with wrong arguments. I've been calling people, come, let us debate. If you are afraid of me, thinking that in my own platform, call me, even your own platform in anywhere, say, okay, let people listen. We are not fighting, for goodness sake. We are not fighting. It's not about personal fight. I don't agree on this, believe what you believe, I know. There must be a basis. If you believe, you can believe that, okay, you don't need to talk about government. But government is not the problem of our it's not our problem. Our problem is God. So let us continue going to the river and praying to river goddess. It will give us everything we have. Is that what you? So you believe what I believe? Now I see the errors in what you believe. I will not be able to talk about it. Or you see the errors in what I believe. I will not try to bring it out for public discourse. That is where I got that thing wrong. I see loophole in that statement. I see loophole. The alma maters of America, the purveyors of American independence, George Washington and all the rest of them, they took time, risked their lives visiting Europe. That time there was no flight. That time there was no aeroplane. In 18th century, early 18th century, they were visiting Europe, trying to learn listening to, the word of awakening and debating for them to learn, to put it right. That is why they, why they, I mean, restored. It's not restoration. I mean, they formed a country under experience. I mean, a country of experimental country. They experimented their ideas in the new country, the new world called America, and it is working. It's just an idea. Do you see? Do you see why I tell you that? Look, Nnamdi Azikiwe committed the blunder because he lacked sound judgment. He never looked into the future. George Washington, Jefferson, all of them, they looked into the future and saw that, look, this type of government will make us, carry us high. If we put everybody, we say everybody, all human beings are born equal. Unlike in Europe. In Europe, in the medieval Europe, not every human being are born equal. There are some nobles and some peasants. And the clergy, they said this is, because it is the church, Christian church, that brought this divine right of a king. I've preached it here several times. Divine right. That somebody has divine right. It is God that brought him in order to save you. You don't have equality with him. Because this religion always put people above. And they still have this type of mentality to today. That is why they cannot debate. Because they feel that, what am I going to do? This person is Satan. So, Mazi Jonathan, no, what did he know? He's a carnal man. He cannot understand the things of the spirit. That's arrogance. Are you understanding me? That was in medieval Europe, which America rejected. That made people not equal. All humans are not equal. Christianity put it in Europe. The divine right of kings. Some human beings were born to be more than others, which America rejected. They said no. Why did they reject it? Because of the debate, the awakening, the Renaissance debate that was going on in Europe. So their eyes were open. They said no. All people are equal. In this new country we are forming, everybody is born equal with equal rights. Because there are some people you say they are not, they are lower human beings, but once you give them the equal opportunity you give to the nobles, they will even thrive. They will be more beneficial, more than the so-called nobles. Do you see the argument? Is it not sound argument? But all these people, they don't like argument. They will, because the argument is based, Sadhguru said, once you start critical thinking, reasoning, if you subject things to the author of reason, all these, their references, their books, their scriptures, their holy books becomes obsolete. It falls. Because it falls, it becomes obsolete because they cannot defend it. No, the only thing they will hide under, a carnal mind does not understand the things of the spirit, and they will go their way, because that is the arrogancy they are being inserted. They are meant to be arrogant. That primitive arrogance, that they know more than you. So where your mind, or is it where your critical thinking ends, is where their own what do they call it? Spiritual mind starts. That's what it's. That's why they cannot tell you something without reference. And the Bible say, and the Bible, you ask them, no, mia ga another thing, and no, asikwa. All these scriptures and holy books, they can never stand the test of reason. Are you hearing me? So, I am talking about our standard for morality. The European colonialists brainwash us into believing the lie, that morality was brought to us by foreign religions. This is life from the pit of hell. To accept that we are savages, that they brought us the standard for morality through their imposed religion, which is the fear of hell or the reward of going to heaven after death. This is the biggest lie of the millennium, not century, the biggest lie of the millennial. Not even 1,000, many thousands of years, millennial. It's a lie. These are lies. Are you hearing me? Christianity came into West Africa 600 years ago only. 600 years ago. The first time. When we say he came to a point first. The first time he came to one place, he entered through one. Because for you to enter into a house, you must enter into the door. Or, through the door. So, they entered through the door 600 years ago. Are you hearing me? Not that he spread, though. No. Only 600 years ago, he entered West Africa. I'm talking about West Africa. In the late 15th century, Portuguese traders and missionaries began arriving in West Africa. First in Guinea, Mauritania, the Gambia, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. Then Nigeria, and later in the Kingdom of Congo, where they would find success in converting prominent local leaders to Christianity. Do you see it? Now, specifically, Christianity was brought to Igbo land because since that 600 years ago, in Igbo land, it didn't come, it didn't enter until we are in the hinterland, in the forest. Are you hearing me? That is our location. So, specifically, Christianity was brought to Igbo land in 1857. And that was when they brought with them this concept of heaven and hell. Does it mean that our ancestors do not have standard for morality before that time? Because I'm hearing lies of people. It irritates me when people tell us that, no, why we are talking about hell and heaven is for morality. Which means before the concept of hell and heaven, our ancestors didn't have morality. They were savages. They eat. If that is the case, you wouldn't be done. I wouldn't be born. You wouldn't be alive because they will eat themselves into extinction, and there will be nothing like you or I. But all they talk is lie, and it is a very big pity that many of us are still going with these lies. These lies meant to blackmail us as a people. That we are savages. Oh, the morality come through heaven. The concept of heaven. And are you kidding me? Heaven, they tell you that before you go to heaven, you will die. How many Christian leaders or Christian clergies you see that we are kidnapped and they were given chance of direct ticket to heaven? They say no. Instead, they pay. The other time, the Anglican primate paid 100 million naira in 24 hours in order not to go to heaven. But this is what you see as a, just as a measure to keep our standard for morality. These are lies that is, let me tell you, all these lies are expired. I am happy that it has expired. We are a people of high moral before the Europeans came. Do you know why? This is the reason why Japan fought the Europeans and their religion. They fought them mercilessly. Ask yourself, those that fought this religion like Japan, they are doing very much more better because they have sound judgment. They allowed the missionaries to land in Japan, the Jesuits, the Franciscans from Portugal and France and all the rest of them. And immediately they enter, the missionaries start preaching. They were antagonizing the Japanese way of life, making people to go and burn their temples, their local shrines. That was when the Japanese elite said, if we leave these people, they are going to ransack our land and turn the mentality of our people into rubbish, like the way they turned our mentality today. That is what Japan foresaw about 600 years back. And they fought against the European religion. They closed Japanese land. No going out, no coming in. No European enter, no mission. If any place they see churches or anything, they burn them. If they come to your family and they see that oh, you believe in European religion, they cut off your neck. You are, not only you, you burn your whole family. The thing paid today. You are dying to go to Japan, aren't you? People, they are developed, but in their own way. They kept their land sterile from the European virus for 250 years. Once they know that they have achieved their aim, that generations have come and gone and come and gone, no more, you can no more turn them back. That is when they open their doors now. Because some people will call and say, ah, there are churches in Japan. Yes, but there is no way you can no longer go back to, to undo them. They are matured. They are well dug in the system. So if they allow you to do your thing as a church, as a mosque, or anything, they are doing it out of courtesy of 21st century. You can no longer convince Japanese people to turn around, start believing that there is one spirit that is in charge, that their ancestors are bad. No. Are you hearing me? That, uh, 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 their ancestors are bad. The way they brainwash us into behaving. And today we are casting out ancestral spirits. Don't you see that something is fundamentally wrong? Are you hearing me? So let me continue. As I said, specifically, Christianity was brought to Igbo land in 1857. And that was when they brought with them this concept of heaven and hell. Does it mean that our ancestors do not have standards for morality before that time? If not, they would have killed themselves into extinction. And the Europeans wouldn't have met nobody in our land but only virgin unaccommodated land. The Igbo people were hesitant to convert to Christianity initially because they believed the gods of their native religion would bring disaster on them. And that their fear is happening today. Now, what is it? Scatter the sheep everywhere in the world. No shepherd. Don't you see that it is a curse? Is it not what our ancestors, the disaster our ancestors were afraid of? That is what happened to us. They turned us into morons. If you're a religious fanatic, you are the same with a drug addict. What I'm telling you is not, I'm not making it up. It is according to scientific observation. You understand? A religious fanatic is the same as a drug addict. If you are maybe a cocaine smoker, a sniffer, and a religious fanatic, you people are the same, because it is the same part of the brain that is being stimulated by religion, by drug. So that you see every other person contrary to what any person that is telling you stop using drug, you see him as Satan himself. The same way, somebody that is trying to convince you with common sense, with critical thinking, with reason about what your religion is preaching and the way they are going, the way they are turning our land, they have turned our land, scamming our people. You say no. It's the same thing. Drug addict. They are the same. It's according to scientific research. I am telling you, it's the same thing. That is why when you see them, it's an addict. So you take it easy. Take it easy. Now, in the same way they disintoxicate drug addicts, that is the same way religious fanatics are disintoxicated. Why? He will see you as that Satan. So you use superior argument if he cares to listen to you. Because many of them, they block their ear. The same way drug addict, the bad ones, telling him to come. This drug is. He tell you, do you know what? This is my life. If I sniff it, I'll become okay. I'll become in another world, but I feel good. So that is the same thing with a religious bigot. Fanatic. a religious fanatic. It's the same thing. So that is when you understand all these facts, when they speak, you don't become annoyed any longer. You understand me? You don't become annoyed. Instead, you will wire with them. So that Haga Watacha wouldn't wire your name, because the level of intoxication and disintoxication are not the same. There are some people, according to scientific research, they can be they are easily disintoxicated. Some drug addicts are mean. They can easily leave drug normally. There are some other ones that is very hard. Sometimes they even die. So that is the same way religious fanatic is like that. So when you talk, you forgive him because he's a fanatic. He doesn't want to listen to reason. Reason means nothing to him. What matters to him is that believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. Let us talk about reason. No. And you see the person is still talking about Biafra. Now you ask, why are you, there are many of our leavers who will be in Nigeria then? Because many believe in Nigeria. Now, why are you trying to convince us? Do you see what goes around comes around? The Igbo people were hesitant to convert to Christianity initially because they believed the gods of their native religion would bring disaster to them. And that is what is happening to us today. That is why, today. I say I saw all these content creators real. When somebody has some issues, they meet all these content creators in order to expose some things. A girl that is the father is sleeping with Onyibo. Even share the ime. You understand? Honestly, that the father now, maybe many of you watched that video. The father chorelo, but because they are more than Wugo. So yeah, where is why ka munye? Why are you accustomed to that? Why were ka di nna ya aro na ime na ala Igbo? Aro onye Igbo. Do you know what happened? Near the girl the content creator because the man the but yes, it cannot happen. But yo maybe go so now you go across even now you ways feeling for other men. Now, okay, this content creator na hand the thing. Or reveal or go the man that look, I'm videoing. Do you know the magnanimity of what you are doing? Or say, are you judging me? The man, one middle-aged man, maybe 60 something year old. Do you know me? I'm a deacon in my church. Do you want to judge me? Are you judging me? Ishi wakam. Religion sunaro menibo. I don't hesitate saying it. I don't say it half. It also narrow menibo. I am telling you. Okay. We should know that the two major world religions dealt heartlessly and ruthlessly with Africans. The two major religions of the world, the two major world religions, Islam and Christianity, they dealt mercilessly, heartlessly, and ruthlessly with Africans. Because Islam slaughtered Africans like chicken. They started buying in trans-Saharan slave trading, buying Africans like goods. Are you hearing me? Therefore, where was their moral standard of heaven and hell as of the time of killing and buying Africans into slavery? Anybody that is arguing that the concept of heaven and hell brought morality. Now you ask, when they were slaughtering Africans, the king of Belgium, he killed more than half of Congolese for fun. The one that sent a letter to the missionaries. Now, where was their morality? Remember, in 1455, this is a historical fact, the Christian Pope Nicholas V issued the papal bull, that is a legal binding edict, to King Alfonso 5 of Portugal, authorizing and legalizing the plundering enslavement of Africans. Let me read part of what the Papal Bull of 1455. All these things many of you know. He said to invade, search out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens, pagans, and other enemies of Christ, wheresoever place. Saracens is an old word used, the medieval word for Arabs. Subdue all Saracens, pagans, and other enemies of Christ wheresoever placed, and or reduce their persons to perpetual slavery, and to apply and appropriate to himself and his successors the kingdoms, dukedoms, counties, principalities, dominions, possessions, and all movable and immovable goods whatsoever held and possessed by them, and to convert them to his and their use and profit, and to reduce their persons to perpetual slavery. That was the alma mater, the origin, what gave the European kings and queens and Europeans, what empowered them in order to start the slavery, transatlantic slavery of Africans. And are you here? This is a historical fact. The time the Pope, the church was the king, the Pope was the king of Mecca. Any kingdom in Europe that was crowning their king, the Pope must give approval. If not, that king is obsolete. He must be brought down. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? That is so they gave the ultimatum, the legal binding papal bull, the edict, to start a transatlantic slavery, because it is their right as Christians to kill non-Christians, take whatever they have by force, and enslave them forever. They are pagans. Do you see how this pagan, the word pagan, start? That is why whenever I'm telling you that if you are an Igbo man, you're a Biafran, calling your brother or your sister pagan, you are worse than a slave trader. You are worse. You have just virtually killed the person, because this is the Europeans, as they use that word pagan, which means you are no more human being. They can kill you. That is why what I'm telling you is out of experience now, because all of us passed through it. It's what I'm saying even till today. What I'm now. Ndị kpụrụ ihe a m na-eme achị gị hụ ha anaghị sure na ha nụrụ na Maazị Jonathan akpọpịara ụkwụ ha sị Jizọs ha emegwe. Ọ bụrụ otu awa nwaada chịrị ọnwụ na accident, normal thing that can happen to anybody. You see, many of them start rejoicing that God have removed her. Oh, Irobi, very wicked heart. I am telling you. We should remove ourselves from this. This is that thing Bob Marley say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Because once you are mentally enslaved, you in a area no be thinking that you are doing somebody. But you cannot express it. Because now Christianity has banned the physical war, unlike before. So they carry the war, they carry it now inside them. What I'm telling you is what we experience now. In na they preach or they against in they preach. Ye choka you obigi oka on water wechi. Oh yeah, we robi. Is what is happening. But they say they have moral standard. They brought moral. Now, let me ask. Because that is why they run away from debate. Because what I want to ask, this Pope, because it's through them you get the Bible. That time there was nothing like Protestant, there was nothing like this and that. that is from this Protestant you are calling, oh, you are Protestant, you are Pentecostal. It started, I mean, um, Pentecostalism. It started in America in 1906 of yesterday. 1906 of yesterday. So in a quote to say, Ndi Catholic, how now they are not Christian. Now lie. They give you what you see today, the religion you are using today is from them. Oh, how na ndị nna. Oh, how we better. You understand me? So what am I trying to say? Where is that their moral standard of heaven or fear of hell? Ka i wee hụ na ihe niile awa arụ na arụ ihe mmadụ rụrụ. Where is that their morality? Which you are using today to defend I know is just to use as morally. No. When you are telling somebody, if you don't do this, if you do this, nobody will judge you, but it's when you die. Do you know that many people, that is why even our politicians they are robusting. They are looting, exploiting everybody. Because they took oath with the Bible and the Quran. So they don't believe, they know that it doesn't work. It doesn't have no single authority and power. But bring to them, like in our own land, in the whole of in South, both Biafra and Oduduwa. Any politician that wants to take over a governor, you go and bring if it's a Yoruba, bring the Shangu. Bring the whole gods in Yoruba, the whole deities in Yoruba land. Bring the real ritual. They do their ritual. Now tell him, remove your shoe. Oh, yeah. Swear with this Shango. Swear with this that Oromila or Batala. Oh yeah, put your hand. Bring out if the one that needs blood, say they take a small blood from you. Oh yeah, put it. Swear that you will, if you loot money, if you take any money from the government without doing, if you don't protect your people, that you will die. Do you think if the person do it, do you think that they will be able to loot? They will not. But the Bible and Quran is expressed now because they know all these things. Yeah, is foreign imposed. It doesn't work. Do you see why originality is originality? Do you see that? Do you see a Baiji Gahiozo? Do you see that? Now, where was their morality? The Pope killing people, giving orders, say, take not only kill, he said, take their land. After all, he repeated what is written in the Bible. When the Bible God say told the Israelites, go to the land of the Jebusites, I give them unto you, the Canaanites, the Moabites. Take their land, kill all of them, both the pregnant women, both a child that is born today, both the one in the womb, don't spare them. Is it not an order? So where was the morality? You got to be defend. When the line opens, you can call in order to defend. Because what we preach here is bitter, but we make you to think, reason. It's not. It has nothing to do with, personal personality. No, it's not about our personal fighting. No. It's about reason. Because we have come, when you are a child, you're a child. But when you grow up, you're supposed to reason. You're supposed to start thinking well. There are some folks tales that we are told to you, and you are thinking that it was truth. How come Benoke? Contribute to ya ferefega n'eluigwe ebe nni nọ. As a child, you believe it's truth. I could remember the first time I saw Mbe, tortoise. I was praising them and saying, nah, hey, nah, he's the wisest to all the wow. Now, wow. Because I didn't know I was a child. But when you grew up, you start reasoning, you start knowing, okay, this is just to mold our characters. This is just, tales that should make us start thinking. It's ordinary tales, folks' tales. but you took it so serious that it is reality. Let us reason. Now I ask again, when Pope Nicholas V gave the Papal Bull the legal binding order to the King of Portugal and other European kings that they now have the legal right, legal backing of killing Africans, enslaving them, inheriting their properties, kill their young women, rape them, do anything you can. They are not Christians. As long as you kill non-Christians, you never did no wrong. What are you going to talk about it? Where was their this thing, their moral standard of going to hell? Or a simple question we ask. The simple question that matters a lot. So, according to written history, by the 15th century, Africa was home to hundreds of vibrant, dynamic cultures populating all parts of the vast continent. Within those regions we today call West or Central Africa, for example, diverse groups distinguish themselves from one another through a complex range and combination of languages, religions, arts, technologies, and evolving worldviews. Which means before the Europeans came to our land, Africans, we were evolving. But they came and put a stop to it. They stamped out everything. And now they made us to start afresh in a wrong footing. And that is what we are suffering today. Africans are not respected anywhere. Trump called us shitholes. Why? Because they imposed their system on us. Government, education, religion. On us, and we swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. An example of a country that fought them, resisted, that is Japan, is on their level today. Is developed today. Don't you ask yourself why? Why didn't the God of Bible kill Japan and destroy them? Instead, it is a place you are dying to go. As you are in Nigeria, they give you Japanese visa, you will go and give testimony. But these are people that killed the Christians. They stamped out Christianity in their land in 16th century. Do you hear me? Because they know that here in Europe, there is it's just for conquest and nothing more. Okay, I'm talking about Africa now. Pre-colonial Africa. Indigenous gold production, mostly in Africa, was well established by the 13th century. Are you hearing that? 13th century, the Europeans never colonized Africa. They never the transatlantic slavery never started. But do you know 12th to 13th century, it was the time of Mansa Musa, the king of Mali Empire, that has gold. To the extent they started dashing, it crumbled the economies of the then Egypt and some Arab world. How do they get it? Ask yourself, how was they able to mine gold at that time to those quantity? They say he carried, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of camel load of gold to Mecca. Mansa Musa of the old Songhai Empire or Malian Empire. Are you hearing? Now you ask yourself, how were they able to mine it? It was not the Europeans. It was not through the help of the Europeans. Africans did it that time, which means they were technologically advanced in order to mine gold in large quantity that time. But today, we cannot even build something to mine industrial level in Africa to mine gold. We depend on the West. Don't you see that there is something went wrong somewhere? Indigenous gold production, mostly in Africa, was well established by the 13th century, and gold was traded with the Islamic merchants on the East African coast. This trade was disrupted. Listen here. This trade was disrupted by the arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century. The Portuguese wanted monopoly rights over the gold trade with Africans and thus waged war on the coastal Islamic traders. Do you see? Is it not what they are still doing today? They talk about democracy. That is pluralism. But their actions are completely different. Anywhere they are, they want to monopoly. They want to monopolize because they cannot compete on equal and fair ground. That is why they want to monopoly. Instead, they bring fight. That is how they are. The West, I'm talking. African gold mining and other things, we are going smoothly until the Portuguese came to Africa the first time and they saw everything. They said, no, they have to get it, take it all. This is the reason why. If the West dealing with Africans, they don't want you to have not look at in Nigeria, ordinary electricity. Oh, ordinary electricity. They don't want to give people. I say ordinary electricity that is not in any other place. They don't want to give Nigeria, which means these people are wicked. They want always monopoly. And that is what they are fighting Russia for. Monopoly of the world. So that anywhere they talk, you don't talk. But they are the people championing so-called democracy. Shame to them. I am saying shame to them. It didn't start today. The Portuguese entered Africa and saw how things were moving well. Our gold production sells, selling. Trading with the Arabs, now they become jealous. They say they want to have it. Not that they want to enter and be also equal sharers. No. They want to have it all. They want to have monopoly. That is how they behave. That is why France in Niger Republic since 1960 or 1956 that uranium was discovered in Niger, France was taking uranium without even building or providing electricity in Niger. That is how they are. It's their lifestyle. They want to take it all. In Nigeria, we have crude oil, but they are suffering people there. No electricity. And they are being backed by America. Nigerian government is being backed, is being backed by Britain. We have the largest the largest gas reserve. Haji, 33% of Africa. Number one in Africa. Before Algeria. Are you hearing me? But look at Haji, no road. Look at our land, nothing. No electricity. Instead of saying, let us give these people later. No, it is their lifestyle. You see in history, Portugal, that is the way they came immediately. They want to change everything. They want to monopoly. They started war in order to monopolize everything. They don't want any other person to share. France was taking Niger's uranium for almost free of charge. Selling France become uranium producers without having any uranium mine, all in Niger. They don't even care to give Niger. Say, okay, let us build for electricity. Let us build electric supply, nuclear energy in Niger. Nothing to give them. Instead, they imported the terrorists everywhere in the Sahel. That is how they behave. We know them. That is how they behave. Monopoly. They want monopoly. These are the people that bring you religion, that bring you God. You want to live in heaven with them. People that even the letter you have, they want to take it all. You die or you perish. That is not their problem. Don't you see? Is it not what is happening to today in this world? Here we don't pity issues. We say it as it is. Because this is a revolutionary radio. This is Radio Biafra in defense of freedom. It's a revolutionary radio. If you cannot catch up, if you cannot listen to what you are saying, you better switch off. That's it. It's a bitter pill, but it heals. Let us know the truth so that the truth shall set us free. Know it. Go and make more researches about this so that you know it. The Portuguese wanted monopoly right. Immediately, things have been moving on for centuries, but immediately the Europeans came, they saw the vast gold reserve, gold monopoly, gold trading, everything. They said, no, we want it all. They started war. Say we want it all. Don't you see how they are extending war everywhere in the Sahel region today? Don't you see? Don't you see how they destroyed Libya? That was doing very, very well, more than some Western European countries. Under Gaddafi, they destroyed it. But they want you. They love you. They give you religion. They give you God. Africa, Open your eyes and see the handwriting on the wall, so that we will deliver ourselves and manage our lives in the way it should be. That is what we are saying. Because the lies are, they, what I'm seeing, the Western media can turn you into hating your savior. The person that wants to save you, that love you, you will hate him. That is the work of Western media. And the person that has poison to kill you with knife, you go and embrace him. They turn people heads upside down with fake, false information. History said the Portuguese indigenous gold production, mostly in Africa, was well established in the 13th century in Africa, before the advent of any European in Africa. And the gold was traded with the Islamic merchants on the East African coast. This trade was disrupted by the arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century. The Portuguese wanted monopoly rights over the gold trade with Africans, and thus waged war on the coastal Islamic traders. These wars, together with the rise of the Atlantic slave trade and the spread of disease from Europe, led to a drastic decline in gold production. They switched everything off. And since that time, they, once they bring problem to you, you will no longer think about development. What you are thinking about is how to resolve your problem. That is how they infested us till today. Look at how they brought terrorism everywhere. They'll tell you, oh, we are fine. Look at Boko Haram. Since how many years? 2000 till today. They cannot defeat Boko Haram. But Biafra, hey, within 2 years, America, Britain, they have combined, they defeat Biafra. Don't you ask yourself, there is something they are not telling us. We are decoding everything. There is something they are hiding. No, they cannot defeat Boko Haram. They are playing pranks. No, we will do this, we will do that. Okay, America will bring a Tucano jet. Let me tell you. You see America. When I talk about America, I'm talking the West in general, but I use America as the pillar. Any conflict or anything that is going on in any part of the world, killing people, they don't care. They don't care for people's lives. That is capitalism. They don't, because Europe, they are built, the West is built on capitalism, loving material things more than your lives. They don't see you as a human being. What matters is their interest. If that thing that is destroying people's lives, if they look, one, they will check whether it will touch their people, their citizens. That is number one. Be it sickness. So if it may be there is no way it can reach to Western citizens, say American citizens, they will now start using it to play politics. They will start using it to blackmail the governments, for them to extract anything they can, the highest they can from you. That is how they behave. They don't see them as people that care for your life. There is nothing about caring about. What matters to them is their interest. Any misfortune that is happening to you, they don't care. They will first of all look whether is there any way this misfortune will affect the lives of Americans, if it will touch it negatively. If they see that no, it will not, they now see, is there any way it is going to harm any of our interests? If they see no, now they start playing politics with it. No, okay, they make you to buy weapons from them. As they are selling to you weapons, they are selling the same or more sophisticated weapons, arming the terrorists to come to attack you. As they are selling weapons to you, they are arming your opponents. That anti-weapon you have, anti. Do you see? They want you to clear yourselves. They want terrorists to ravage the whole Sahel region, because they saw that Sahel region is filled up with mineral resources, gold, rare earth, coltan, uranium, different. So they want to solidify, their stay there, so that they will be playing pranks as if they are saviors. That is how they behave. You saw it in history, as I read, that trade have been going on between Africans, no problem, with Arabs, with other people, internally also. digging gold, everybody win-win situation. Until the Portuguese came, they said, no, we want all this of ourselves. We want it all. King Leopold II came, when he saw Congo, he said, no, Congo belongs to me. Do you see how they are insatiable? These are hypocrites. These are, people that want to go to heaven with you. You will stay in the same heaven with you. I am sorry for you. If you continue accepting this, their nonsensical lies, it is now childish, honestly. Just imagine their character. These are the people that you will stay together in heaven with. Isn't it? King Leopold II, he came in the vast region, Congo. Remember that time, both Zaire and Congo all are in one space. He claimed it. He said, no, it's me. It's for me. It's for me. It's my vineyard. He sent the Belgium army to commit atrocities everywhere. That was one of the reasons even why Berlin Conference was scheduled in 1884-85, in order to demarcate, to tell the Congo, to the Belgian king that, look, this is your border. You are Obobo, you are garden. A whole vast lands of millions and hundreds of millions of kilometers square. He say one person from Europe will say is mine. Don't you see how selfish they are? Afwejuala, that is how they are today. They continue taking your gas, our oil, all insatiable. Even ordinary electricity, give to the people. No way. No way. That is how they are. They are insatiable. But we will make them to stop. We will deliver ourselves. I am telling you. They infested the whole Sahel region with terrorists. Telling you that people that created this Islamic jihadism that is now is the modern one. Is Mujahideen. It's created by the CIA in Afghanistan. They stop at nothing in order to get what they want. They don't care whether the whole world is closing. They don't care. That is why, let me tell you something. If they are able to fly into another planet, Mars, and find it living, it sustains life. It can sustain them rebreeding. Before God and man, the world is in a problem. They don't care nicking the world. These people you are seeing, they don't have a heart. It's you that is. They don't have no single heart. They don't have any heart. Imagine people who are doing their businesses nice. As you come, you will queue in and try to find out how you can benefit and others benefit. But the Portuguese said no. They just come in. They want everything. They don't care. We are going to get everything. No, stop. The gold is for us. From thousands of kilometers. Is it not how they are behaving today? Those that you are giving you, they say you are not moral, we are savages. Now, judge who we and them, Africans and them, who are more savages. It is for you to judge. If we push you, we show you where to fall. With all this now, who are more savages? Is it Africans or them? Those that came to our land and want to take everything. Look at how they wanted to knock African heads together in Niger because of the military junta came and pursued France, pursued them. America said no, we don't. We want to take what belongs to us. They were crazy. They want to use Chinedu and the Ivorian president to go to war to fight for them. Why would this say this? That is how they are. We know them. We understand them very well. We study them. We understand them. Are you hearing me? That is why I'm telling you, they have no moral standard. All this heaven or hell, that is Akuifo. If they have all this moral standard, they wouldn't have been doing this. But anywhere they go, they cause confusion. They go to Iraq, they plundered Iraq. After the fall of Saddam Hussein, if they tell you the looting that occurred by Americans, they put the American administrator, Ahmed Chalabai, that led them he was a sworn enemy of Saddam Hussein. That is why it is very dangerous for you to align with a foreigner, to even to be against your own brother. It doesn't matter how enemy, how things are with you. It's very dangerous. Ahmed Chalabai, he was the person that helped the Americans because he stays in America. I think in America or UK. He was campaigning against Saddam Hussein. You understand? So Americans now contacted him, used him. They did the normal abracadabra. George Bush said, "Give me." He told the CIA, "Give me anything. Just let us manipulate the people's opinion that Saddam Hussein has the weapons of mass destruction," which is lie. Under normal circumstances, all these leaders like George Bush Jr. and the equivalent of United Kingdom, Tony Blair, should be in jail. But they are untouchable now. They manipulated and received the fake documents, connived and got the fake documents from one Italian mafia. That this guy, Saddam Hussein, wanted to purchase uranium from Nigeria Republic, which is a blatant lie. Even to the extent, the then United Nations Secretary General, if I think it's Butrus Ghali, if I'm not mistaken. He came out on United Nations. He said this document America is showcasing is a fake, it's a lie. But they still went and destroyed lives. They destroyed millions of lives. They destroyed the country. Till today, Iraq. Is that moral standard? People that can do this, who are they? Are they not savages? Who are they? Are they not savages? Don't you have more moral standard more than them? And you are insulting your ancestors. No, they don't. We don't have. It's a question of hell or hellfire, heaven or hell that will make us to be moral. You are lying from your teeth. You are lying. We have our moral standard that guides us, starting from our family, from you saw a lie. It keeps us. That is what we preach when we say going back to our roots. All these things for us to go back to who we are, so that we start respecting each other, so that so that we love ourselves. We have moral standard. But the agents of the religion are turning everything upside down. Don't you see that? If we preach, they say no. They are preaching. You want us to go back to start living in huts, and they must find one way or the other to cajole you. That is how little they are, how minimal they are. They must find one thing or the other to cajole you. Now, as if ask the person what is Igbo? What is Igbo? Everybody now walk. Christians go carry that. Do you know what? When you pray with a candle, say your business will go well, carry candle, you pray. What is it? Is it not Igwogu? When you go sow seed, say now your business you are doing, it's Igwogu, making incantation. It's Igwogu. It's just like making incantation. It's part of Igwogu. When they give you minutes or say, okay, if you go to your business ground, pour it like they do it. All these are rituals. It's Igwogu. So stop being deceived by sentences or words. It's somebody that is not up to date that could be deceived with all this. When you are expecting something miracle, it's Igwogu. Are you hearing me? So everybody, are you hearing what I'm saying? They should never, there is a way they behave. They will start going to the side of that you are not even thinking. They will say, no, see, you want us to go there now. That is going back to our roots. Going back to our roots means being productive. Like the agricultural revolution is part of going back to our roots. Like I could remember, I was flogged for speaking Igbo in class. Names of vernacular speakers, without knowing that we are selling ourselves cheap to the West. Going back to our roots, it means also we speaking our language, updating our language. Our so-called intellectuals coming every year to update Igbo language, bringing new words that come out and translate it in Igbo language. It becomes, automatically being used worldwide in Igbo language, so that it will be updated all the time. That is how languages are. English language is being updated every year. In the new dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, you can now look for, they put down as English word. It was since, I think, since last year they inserted it. Different words. They scavenge for words that are common, even in different languages. In Igbo language, you pidgin or Yoruba or Hausa, they now put it in their dictionary. That is how languages are updated every year, so that the language will not be stagnant. So that you continue speaking Igbo language without putting any English word. Are you hearing? Because languages, you can borrow languages from everywhere. After all, Hebrew language you are hearing today is a concocted language by one man in 19th century, Eliezer ben Yehuda. He was a Russian. He has a different name in Russia, but later changed it. He has to confine his son. He never allowed the son to get out of the house, so that the son becomes the first person that speaks the concocted language. The Hebrew you are hearing today, it is not original. It is one man that concocted it. Are you hearing me? And it became a national language till death. So human being can do something. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay, let me continue, because time is not on my side. Okay. The Portuguese wanted monopoly rights over the gold trade with Africans, and thus waged wars on coastal Islamic traders. Yes, these wars, together with the rise of Atlantic slave trade and the spread of disease from Europe. Do you know that many diseases we are suffering today came from Europe? No, but when they talk, they say every sickness is Africa. Oh, do you know that many sicknesses, deadly diseases came from you? They infected us from Europe. Okay. It led to a drastic decline in gold production. That is how they do. They destroy your economy and make you stagnant, going backwards till today. By the end of 18th century, gold mining and trade were only marginal activities in the region. Estimates from 1800, for example, suggest that Great Zimbabwe had become the largest supplier of gold in the world. But do you know that? You know that Africa, we are shining before, but nowhere. Today, you don't know, because of ignorance. Because of ignorance. But we must continue. Radio Biafra is meant to erase ignorance from our brains. Most of the trade in pre-colonial Africa was not with countries beyond the continent, but consisted of local exchange. Local trade was commonly highly organized. Market days rotated between different villages, and in some cases, the markets were organized on neutral land between the villages, just like Igbo market days are from Eri, instituted by our ancestors till today. We are using it. And these people, they are the people you say, no, they don't have moral standard. They are savages. These are just propaganda, normal propaganda being brought by the West in order to conquer us. And they have conquered many of our brains, put us in a bottle, so that we continue fighting against ourselves, defending them. And they brought us this, now they brought development. You don't know that they brought us backwardness. You don't know that. Okay. Trade within regions was supported by regional currencies, such as small imported seashells or locally produced clothes. The introduction and farming of maize is what some scholars called the second agricultural revolution in Africa. You don't know about it? That we have agricultural revolutions in Africa. You don't know about it. Before the white men came. But they now came and erased everything, that every history that was being kept. Because mostly Africans that time don't write history on papers. No. They carve it on walls, on stones. The great Benin Empire wall of Benin, it contained many, many secrets written there on the two sides of the wall. The Europeans, very, very, heartless set of people, they brought it down because they saw what the knowledge being written in all those walls. They say, no, if we allow this wall to continue, and the progenitors, the generations coming of these people, if they read this, they will become champions of this world. They will become world powers and will be under them. They brought it down. They destroy everything destroyable. Made sure that they cleaned everything. And just like you take your hard disk and clean it. You erase every information in it. Nothing. If you type your computer, nothing. Your laptop, you say nothing found. That is what they did to us. So that we continue gazing. No, nothing. We are nothing before. You see the whole people being brainwashed into believing that we are nothing. We didn't have no moral standard until they brought in heaven and hell. It's highly laughable. It makes you look very, very little. I am telling you. Pre-colonial Africa was developing. Before the imposition of on us via colonization, our cultures and traditions were our primary source for morality, the basis for our values and laws. And that is what we are trying to do. Because without having a solid base for our laws, you will see that we'll be killing each other for other people's interests. Are you hearing me? Foreign religion brought immorality through their preaching of forgiveness of sins once you convert to their religion. This is the main basis for immorality because there is no more punishment for sin or crime until afterlife. This is the main reason for moral decay in our land today. When they came to our land, they smartly did something. All those criminals that were disgruntled, exiled, the Europeans gathered them, missionaries gathered them and told them that, what do you commit? He said, no, I slept with the wife of my brother and they pursue me because he's on Sala. He's against our. They said, no, once you confess it to me, Jesus have forgiven you. So you are no more sinful. Or those people, they are sinners. They now turn the criminals into righteous people, condemning very righteous people. They brought immorality in our land. They said, no, don't worry, your sins are forgiven. Do you know that there should be no forgiveness of sin? Because every forgiveness means measure the punishment. That is what it means. But in the religion they give to us, they tell you once you confess, once you just repent, repent, and your sins are forgiven. That is why you will see somebody that have killed. He will now say, I was an armed robber. I killed many people. Inside church, openly. But Jesus arrested me. I have repented. Praise Jesus. People will shout, oh, you have repented. There's something terribly wrong. There is no forgiveness of sin without or crime without measure the punishment. You see the son of Zulum, the governor of Borno State, that was killed, they say, according to Sahara Reporters, the news, he killed a Chinese national because of girl in India. He was studying in India. He's studying in India. So as Governor Pekin, he's the same person that was caught sometime in airport with large sums of dollars and foreign currencies. And the father defended him. They allow him, he carry money, go, maybe millions of dollars, he go his way. He said the Chinese man was eyeing a girl that he was interested with in a nightclub. In a place, they come from a place, they are enforcing Sharia to other people in his homeland. His father is enforcing Sharia. He will go on Friday and pray and lead prayer, say, ah, la, 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 okay. Enforcing Sharia. But his child is in India drinking and partying in clubs. Do you see how religion is just rubbish hypocrisy? Is used to control the masses, nothing more. Oh, you will go to hell if you do this. You are going to go to hell. Oh, yeah, that nonsense. Now, the boy killed, he smashed a bottle in the head of a Chinese man, and the man died. Now, on hearing it, they arrested him in India because he's not Nigerian. The father flew and go there, started negotiating, pressuring, to negotiate with the family of the Chinese. The Indians told him, even if the Chinese family agree for you to pay them any millions of dollars compensation privately, that the boy committed offense against the land is no more against the person. Do you see how we were before? Which means anything you do, if you sleep with your brother's wife, which means you didn't commit that atrocity against your brother only, you committed it against the whole of a people, the land. That is why Allah. Even if secretly you negotiate and agree with your brother, it's no more about your brother you sin against. That is how we were. But today, Christianity have made us, no, once you are forgiven, oh, you are forgiven, praise the Lord. Oh, I have repented. That is, all these is what the Europeans use in order to scatter our land, bring immorality everywhere in our land. Don't you see that? That is what we are suffering. That's why there is government prosecutor in cases. There are some cases you have, even if you make peace with the person, the victim, your victim, the prosecutor will continue. The case will continue because you sin that land. That is how it's supposed to be. But Christianity came to us and said, no, judging. Before they say, don't judge. Are you judging him? He who does not sin, or you cast the first stone. How dare you? That is the cause of immorality in our land. And you are telling me that they set a standard of for morality with the fear of heaven or hell. If people say, okay, oh, it's only after I die that I will receive punishment. You commit anything you want. If we die, let him go anywhere. You don't care. He's dead, he's dead. If this is true, people will be liking to die safe. Are you hearing me? People will be loving to die. When kidnappers will catch a priest, they will tell them, don't worry, I'm going to heaven. Don't pay them any dime. But in the case of kidnappers that want to send the priests, children of God, to heaven, they will tell you, hey, please don't negotiate, pay anything they tell you. They want to kill me. Oh. If I stay here another 24 hours, they will kill me. They don't want to go to heaven again. Free ticket to heaven. Do you know a man na ihe niile a na-ekwu bash nonsense? Akụkọ ifo. Akụkọ ifo. Let us stop taking all these things serious. Ihe niile awa akụkọ ifo. Let us take our own thing, maintain our own thing, build our own thing, get back to our own thing, and continue developing our own thing. That is what matters. This is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break, and when I come back, I will open the lines so that people will start calling in. Even if you have opposing arguments, it is welcome. The only condition is for us to be civil. You talk, you listen, I talk. And we learn from each other. It's symbiosis. We don't run away from debate. Never. We don't run away. Never. I will be right back. I'll go into a few minutes break. Please do not go away.
This thing not that good, oh. I say it not good, oh. This thing not that good, oh. No one knows tomorrow. Oh yes. Oh yeah, make una open una ear. Hear this one. This one now for EEDC. Oh. EEDC want defraud Southeast with exorbitant electricity bill with no adequate power supply. On top the matter be say, they no go give prepaid meter to their customers, but them go give illegal high estimated bills. They no wan know if light dey or e no dey. Instead of them to fix am, they go force people to pay the bills wey they no use, or them go cut the lights. I wonder how communities go use contribute money, buy their own power transformer, buy electricity cables, and yet pay huge amount of money to this obodo Naija corrupt EEDC, but they no go gree connect or bring the lights. Even when they dismantle to repair community transformers wey spoil, they no go repair or return it to the communities. This issue don tire people o. Anambra State Governor Soludo, im don pay 100 billion naira to Emeka Offor and EEDC. This matter dey under agreement to provide light o, 24 hours light o. But from March 2023 until now, Anambra State still dey for darkness. Emeka Offor don frustrate other companies wey wan give us light. The koko be say EEDC na the reason why southeast no dey develop. This thing no dey good o. I say e no good o. This thing no dey good o. No one knows tomorrow. Oh yes, my people, una well done o. Obodo Naija don carry census burst out o. Oya, bring your ear close make we yarn. Anywhere you dey, if na Biafran you be, whenever they wan count census for Nigeria, kukuma come back to Biafra land o. Make them count you in your own land, because during election they killed us in the north and Yoruba land, and na them still talk say we no get right to vote in their land. So time don come make we boost our population. And if you no fit return, selenge for your house, make you no participate, because them go add una number for the region where una dey. Another one be say, if you dey north and your tribe no be Fulani, when you wan fill the form, identify your tribe. No go write Fulani, e dey very important. In this census, if Biafrans go come back like tomorrow no dey, them go know say we plenty for this obodo Naija wey we dey so. We go use this census exercise to ascertain our population and the size of amenities wey we need in Biafran territory. Remember o, every obstacle wey we get for this freedom, IPOB don dey dismantle am small small, and this population census go be another evidence to that effect. All hail Biafra, Biafra will hail you. Stand your ground and no fear. No dey from you, no see Biafra like Biafra.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mars Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra land. Our lines are now open. Our lines are now open. Our direct line is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. Do not forget that today is Saturday, the 27th day of July 2024. Tata Bobo Chafo. And before I take other calls, I will bring in Mazi, okay, with one of our reporters to tell us what is happening in parts of Imo State, please, because we are seeing all these things that are happening. Let us understand from them before calls will start coming in. Maz, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I want the man loud and clear. Good evening from Poland here. This is Mark from Necroneck, and of course I have from Mark. Mark is on the province of Biafra land. I want to fit for 3 months now, thereabout. Mark, I have to appreciate our data. Our people to the Mark. And your memories of Chuku Praise and you're not in this. And all is done that doing wonderfully well. Led by Mark. Check it, and tomorrow will be very hot. Well, Martin will be on air. I think, in the evening, and people have been calling, I think, to get prepared. And I've told them whatever question you have, write it tomorrow. Ask Martin as he is able to answer you whatever question you have. Write it down and go straight to the point. Men and women of our red cast all over the world, we continue to appreciate all of you. And I am happy that our radios are coming up here and there, especially rural and the coverage of part of Anambra. And we are doing the needful. Because it's Udumini, we are having a lot of challenges. But notwithstanding, as the week progresses, we'll be making impact here and there. I think our law, if our law is not on today, I know our law will be on by tomorrow thereabout. Yeah, I have our brother here because I know mom I said, Nabagon, yeah, someone one more food, I didn't wear me poor. This is where I come from. Imo State is boiling. Omaka is boiling. Otora is boiling. Ukwaj is boiling. Ezioha is boiling. Our member is boiling. Almost all of them, all these places are not safe. And I have to use this opportunity to tell our people, if you're enrouting anywhere around Biafra land, either from Owerri, going to Onitsha or from Onitsha, coming to Owerri, please avoid Ukwaj Road. All those people are very delicate places because these boys, they have their camp in Israel, being commanded by B44. And for those of you saying B44 is done, he's alive, B44 is still alive. He is alive. Then put him there. They have their camp now, 3 places there. They have in Ukwad, they have in Israel, Afara, Otora, Umunaha. No place is safe there. Our people should be very careful. For more marker, if you are no marker in a full marker and they are heading towards the ESA road, avoid that road. All these are very dangerous places. And let me hand over to our beloved brother from Biafra and Mazi. Tell us what is happening in Imo State, where you and I come from. And if you have any other report, verified any other place in Biafra land, let us hear you now, Mahmoud. There we
Okay, sir. Mazi, watching again there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of us of freedom. They want to watch all over the world, though they don't know. Because without wasting our time, actually, also the issue of Imo State is getting out of hand because the politicians here are now using their offices to make money. Some of them are into kidnappers, some of them are into one chance business, some of them are into armed robbery business. Is now back in Imo State. Some of them are using police and army, kidnapping our people and collecting ransom. Let me start from what is happening in the states here, where there are a lot of our brothers that they kept in their dungeon. In fact, the whole area is rampage. No, whether you commit any crime or you don't commit any crime, they will arrest the person and put inside there, demanding 2 million and 3 million. Or if there is any money in your account, they will siphon everything. That's what police, since they cannot go to their, maybe go to Olo for checking point and or Nucha Road for their checking point, they are now inside the municipal. Once they see you with a good vehicle or a good clothes, they will tag you Yahoo boy and they will carry you immediately. Once they see any money in your account, it's over. That is one. Secondly, last 2 weeks now, Imo State is boiling and bleeding because of this, the zoological government that are working with Simon Ekpa went to bring almost 20-something armored vehicle, 20-something armored vehicle to come and destroying our homes here and our villages and everything. So what we are calling is for people to intervene because most of the people in that villages, they can no longer go to their farmland anymore. They cannot, in fact, most of them are run out of the village
can you
because of the
mention? Can
insecurity
you
there.
mention?
It's no longer safe.
Can you mention some of the villages, if you may?
In fact, almost the local government
let me help you. Like today is happening in Asia in Ihiala. And it happened in Omokwe. Omokwe is in a village town in our member. It happened in Ezioha. It happened in Omaka. It happened in Autora. It happened in Nafra. All this area and Eziamobiato, all this area are under siege. Since last Saturday, today is exactly 1 week. The army is on internet, is on social media, and they can see the size of bullets they are using to shoot our people, bombarding, burning homes. It's on social media. That's why we control to share it so that other
almost
people
this
will be
local
taking
government
notice
now have
about
been
it.
affected.
And when you see Nkwere is not a set place, Parliamentan is not a set place, so the local government headquarters, people from Nkwere can check out what
Yes,
is happening in their army, and that of one
yes,
is a killer. Everywhere in Imo State is a killer place. Now, local
yes,
headquarters, a lot of local government headquarters, a lot of killings are taking place there. They're killing our people, they're harvesting our people in Nkwere headquarters. The army is there, taking our people, extorting their money, harvesting organ. And Omazi, I heard your broadcast. He said when a bad ruler, a bad leader comes into government, the people suffer. This is exactly what we are suffering in Imo State. And you ask yourself, where are the sons and daughters of Imo State? Mazi, in my town, Omaka, we have about, let me not lie, about 10 generals in Omaka, in army. We have assistant commissioner of police. We have all of them in. We have almost DIGs in America. We have people that matter commanding. I don't want to call the zones that are commanding. Zones that are commanding prominent places in Nigeria and in, even in Biafra land. You ask yourself, why are these our people not speaking up? Even the village in Omele, in Obabo, in Amako, in Ibele, in Ami, and even Ubele, they have run away. And this is a place we have the generals. Why are they not speaking? Are you telling us that our brothers in America who be their mansions and say that they are not hearing what is happening? As I said it time and time and time. I continue to say it and I continue to repeat it. If only our brothers in America, all as a whole, because they have our house, which is the biggest. Today, hope we will get out of there. But they don't want to talk because at the end of the day, their end result is to come and become a local government chairman, not even going for senator. They go for the lowest. And when these people retire, Obiano is there now. That place they themselves, they run to America because they know they cannot run to Europe. Mazi, thank you, my brother. Take off from there. There we.
okay. Now, the doctors that are doing this surgery and harvesting organ, they are in FMC Owerri. FMC Owerri is the capital of harvesting organ. In fact, there is a department. We are making our investigation on that issue, and we will get a MASMO report. Now, the issue of kidnapping and collecting ransom in Imo State is getting out of hand. 2 days ago, that was on Thursday, there was the one, someone about 4 guys were arrested and kept naked. They are both, all of them are naked. The this red cap police, military police, arrested them and laid them on the floor. I went there myself and look at them, trying to know if I will know where how they operate and how they are the area. Let me know that I will get from the police. But the police said that they have called the area command to come and pick them. They are into one chance business and kidnapping, and even with guns. You see the thing. These people, the people that they said that they are working for a politician. A politician, they are now persuading them to call their names. They say no until they say they should lead them. So that when they reach the station, they will now call their names.
They are working for who? Tell all the route they are applying in Imo State because they are cutting people with the sword. That come people like in the whole of Imo State is Imo State is where they have so people come from Abuja come to Olona and they keep them in the hotel. The next time is breathing them on butter with the fresh blood.
Nah.
They're everywhere.
Obvious,
everywhere. We want to know the route so that people will be careful.
The route now from Poly Junction, at Poly Junction, you're heading to Aba. Obala is their capital. Opala, Poli Iyagba Road, going to Okolochi. That area is Fulani are the one doing that. Hausa people, Fulani jihadists at the back of Obris. They are the one doing that one. No doubt about that. Everybody have testified about it. Then at Port Harcourt Road, control junction to Obris, going to Umuagbo. That is another area that they operate from last week. Just this week that just passed now. There are about 2 buses. These people enter 2 buses. 2 buses have occurred. The driver have been able to control the vehicle, and the vehicle fall. People that can say that around the road safe 2 to MTN junction, that hill there, they would expect the vehicle fall, and most of the people injured, and they rob some of the passengers and collect their phones and their belongings. 2 days later, another one happened. The same that area. So these people are now operating that area through and through. Going to Umweka Osusoma, the same thing. Umweka to Owerenta. And the military people that is a naval base headquarters controlling Imo State and the Imo State and Abia State. No, they cannot do anything, or maybe they are the one doing the thing. I don't know. Honestly, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. This is too much. We'll keep eye on ground to make sure that
so now people are coming, disappearing, and strange people are coming to buy body parts.
Yeah, man, I verify that.
Honestly,
people come from Abuja. They come to Abuja, lodge them in a hotel. This is what is going on in the message day. Just in another 20 minutes, they need to see the hair spa. They bring it to fresh. This is the crime, and at times you ask yourself, why is there that too much crime in Imo State? Why too much crime in our place? Because is it like that in our other places? Because we have a bad politicians, all of them come from Olo, and they're filtrated everywhere. Who put them at the accident of 18? Mike, let me shock you. Do you know that Kubana chief priest is the guy that carries money laundering for Hope Uzodinma? Hope Uzodinma gave him money. Someone, all the court chicks, all court boys in Imo State, both in Aban, both in Insu, both in all of them, Futo, and place them on salary. This is why the Fulani are entering into Futo, kidnapping our people, killing our people in the whole Futo, and nobody is talking. And another intel 2-3 weeks ago, from Akwakama, Obomiri, or road to that control or whatever, people are, this one time people that are operating there. People applying that road must be very, very careful. And there is another place that is important in this report. When you pass Ubomiri leading to Umunoha is another route where either they kidnap you from there, divert you toward that road, and they head to Ukwoji, Otora, Afra, Omaka, all these are neighboring areas, and they enter inside the bush there. Or major kidnappings happen around that road. And if they take you from Onocha Road, from Awo, it's easier. They'll just branch it here. Some time ago, they killed a young man in Omaka, in one village, Omaka. That guy has a Vansa white. They shot him, and the other one said, kill him. And they killed that guy, put him with their boots, and they went away. Just brought a stack in their boot and wrapped him. Then who are doing all this? This is why the army is everywhere there. We are not against the army going for their work, but they should not be burning people's house. Let them go squarely for those people they know. This Buffon in Finland, a criminal gang that are there, B44 is commanded. The guy commanded that place is B44. Butuzo Temple put him there. And all the PGs, like PG, a lot of people they took, most of them have killed them. All these PDs in Afra or Torah, people should wake up and help. That's why we say people should form
Honestly,
local vigilante. Are you telling me that these are our brothers from Ukwoji, from Ezioha, from Afra, from Otora, from Ejamobiato, they are not hearing what is happening? Who is calling to give report? I have about church. I went to
honestly.
Mazi.
So, Maz, the last one that I want to give is the issue of bunkering. The issue of bunkering. That's where the one that there's two major dealers in the bunkering business in Imo State. One belongs to Hope Ozarema. One belongs to what is the other guy? Chikwe, somebody Chikwe, or something like that. So these are the people. Once the military sees you with any vehicle or any, they will burn the vehicle. But it's these two groups. These are the people that are laundering, bunkering from here to the north, from here to other places, and doing their businesses. At the end of the day, the whole road from Ohajebema, none of them you cannot apply. The road is bad, but they are busy bringing, siphoning the bunkering, siphoning with them, with the oil companies, siphoning the bunkering, and listening no control. Nobody is questioning them on whatever thing. They are not doing the way they like. While the villagers are there suffering, no light, no water, no road, no nothing. In fact, it's too bad. It's too bad.
Yeah,
Bad. It's too bad,
Let
honestly.
me,
It's
before
too
you drop,
bad.
I wrote an article about that, and I put the truck. If you watch all those trucks, all those trailers, none of them have Imo State number. All of them are Hausa numbers. The people from Ohio confirm. I have the pictures, and yes, I send it. I shared it in my wall, and I wrote an article about Ohio. Everything is embodied there. Tomazi, thank you. Our people should wake up, and thank you. Thank you for having us today. We'll to do the
Thank you very much.
Good night from here. One day from here. Good night.
That is it. After all, this man, what do you call him? The governor of Imo State. When he wanted to take his oath of office, he put his hand in the Bible. He took oath of office from the Bible. Oh, all these things, we need to understand that in here, we need to take care of our destiny. And the only way to do it is to go back to who we were. I am telling you. I kind of Bible say, I will serve the people, I will do this, so help me God. What is he doing? He brought in the whole bad, evil people to our land in Imo State. And the result is what you are seeing. We must continue. I have a caller that is waiting. Caller on, let me see, is it WhatsApp or Signal? Let me see. Okay, I think it's in WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me, please? Thank you for waiting.
Yes, Master. Good evening.
There we go.
May Chiko Kikabiana bless you and bless your family. Master, I call in to thank you for the good work, the wisdom that you are imparting on this our generation. And it's, to be honest with you, is entering. I was today, a certain woman came to our shop. We preach, talk everything. And she asked if there's anyone that have question. I said yes. But do you know, immediately I start asking my question, she want to quarrel.
Because they don't have answers. They don't have answers to questions. It's not not logic. They don't breed logic.
Yes, I told her no. It's question. You are the one who asks us whether there's anyone that has question. So why can't we argue or argue it? Answer me, and you ask me, I will answer you. Do you know that this woman at the end, he wanted to start telling us the same thing, the same story. Pagan, you are not this thing. If you born again, I said, in fact, at the end, she just concluded, let us leave it like that. I said, you don't have an answer to my question, because what you are telling me is what you are being taught. You don't have any, you don't no base of, you don't have any question to my answer. And also,
Mazi, are you still there? Muted. You are muted. You muted your phone, or somebody is calling you, please. And then I will go to another call, please. You are muted. Unmute yourself and continue. No, you are still muted. Caller on signal. Mazi, Ifeanyi Chukwu, can you hear me? Mazi, go on, please.
Yes, my brother, I can hear you.
Udo Derege.
Good evening, Biafrans and lovers of freedom. My name is Ifeanyi Chukwu Madabuchi. And my brother, let me say this thing you said last about people swearing with the Bible or Quran or whatever. It is very important that in Biafra land, even now, that our political class and our traditional rulers will organize that people who are going to represent Biafrans or Igbos at any capacity, both council level, local government level, state level, and the national level, that they will swear by our offer.
Mazi, hold it there.
Yes,
okay.
My brother.
Okay. You see this thing you say now? Do you see the reason why we, from now, we need to convince our people in order the importance of doing this thing you say now. And many people are saying, some people are saying, no, don't preach this. Is when Biafra come, we make a law. Do you know that normally this thing should be implanted into the constitution of Biafra land before it can take effect? Now, if people are not convinced, if we don't talk about this now, how do you think people that time, during the time, if Biafra comes, how do you think that people will buy into it? Now we'll be clamoring for this to be into the constitution. Others, all these other people, no, Bible said, no, we cannot, no, this is idol worship. No. How can we, how can they understand if we are not talking about it now? Do you see the reason why we are speaking it now? Not leaving it when Biafra comes. Because as of that time, if one part will be clamoring and say, okay, let us put this so that the people will not be swearing in with an imported book. They will start quoting for you. Bible say, but that is why we need to expose the reality, the facts about this imposed religion on our land. And that is what we are doing. So that people will be emancipated from mental slavery. So that time, if that time reaches, everything will be easier. Say, we have had it. People's eyes would have opened. That is the reason why we are doing what we are doing. Mazi, go on, please.
Yes, my brother. And then I go to our standard for morality. In the Igbo Biafran value system, that says Ezioku Bondo. It means that truth is life. And we say again, Ebe bere ugobere, nkesi beye bena, nkukaya. That means live and let live. Whosoever says the other should not live should die. This proverb has nothing to do with the kite and ego. The two birds, Ebe and Ugo, are used here as metaphor. Then another moral value we have, it says, Ndokako. Life is better and superior to wealth. And we say again, Nwaka ego. Child or children is better than money or riches. Again, we say, Onye se nkuma afọ na isi, mma abana nke ya abana. That means he who says that I will not prosper and thrive, he should be barren and his home desolate. Another one is onye njenje ka onye isi awọ ife ama. That means that a traveler is more knowledgeable than the aged or gray-haired. So this, what I'm enumerating, these are the standard moral values our ancestors have set. There are many more, but I just named these few to tell you that our land was hallowed with strong moral value system, and that was one of the things the colonialists worked to destroy before they conquered our place. Now, we don't have heaven and hell in Igbo cosmology, or how we originally believe the universe is structured. You know, we have this physical world, and hereafter, that is the spirit world, and more. The belief is that we join our ancestors in the spirit world when we die. Now, one can rightly ask, what about bad people? Then the value system our ancestors established here is also applicable there. We have ways of punishing the bad people or the guilty, either by boycott, ostracism, fine, or labor to atone for their wrongdoings. Don't you think that this is a better proposition than the idea of heaven and hell that people can use and abuse to cow people to do their biddings in this life? Do you think that the West and the East altogether care about heaven and hell? You know, so we have our own value system. We have a practical belief of life and death. When we die, we join our ancestors to live as a very big family. If you have, sinned or committed the abomination against the land, there will be and there is in this life in Igbo how we treat those who committed the sacrilege or abomination, or even those who kill, even robbers. Some of these people are banished forever. Some of them are given time, like 10 years. You dare not come back to your town till after 10 years. These things are more practicable, are more reasonable than the phantom tale that we don't know anything about, and that people are abusing. Like I said, let our values, both in cosmology and culture and tradition, guide our society. My brother, God bless Biafra. Good evening.
There, woman, say, I have a caller on direct line. Let me take him. I think caller on direct line. Can you hear me? Please go on. Ganiru. Caller on direct line. Please go on. Maazichuku, can you hear me? Yes, go on.
My name is Chukwu Emmanuel. I'm speaking from our location. Thank you once again, Jonathan, as always. I greet my leader and our leader, Martin Amdekan, the man who set up this platform to expose so many things. I greet you once again. Yes, I want to start from what is going on in Imo State. Because the Bible says, whatever a man sows, and that's what he will reap. If anybody think very well about how Hope Uzodinma come on board as a governor in Imo State, and our leader talk seriously about it, and now see we will ask. It is a pity that people don't remember that. People don't remember that. Few days ago, we heard about Emmanuel Iwanyang, his death. We talk about Ifanyoba, again, his death. The worst thing is that ndị Igbo sịrị n'okenye a na-anọ n'ụlọ iwu amụọ n'ọgbụ. But ihe ndị ahụ na-eme n'ala Igbo taa. Emmanuel Iwanyang was 82 years according to what we heard a few days now. And he was the supporter of Hope Uzodinma to be a governor in Imo State. And today, Emmanuel Iwanyang is no more here on earth. The whole corrupt money he collected from Fulani to reach himself, he have left the whole money and died. And that is how it's going to happen to everybody on this earth. But the important thing somebody can do when he's alive is to do the right thing. The right thing is exactly what our leader is showing for the whole world. To show the world the truth. To reject the money. Because all this money is nonsense. Any original human being don't worry himself about wealth. Asia can go. But today, when we are hearing news, different news coming up in Nigeria, especially in Igbo land, mostly in Imo State. Somebody come up here and talk about Hope Uzodinma bunkering of oil. And one other person again. That means the money Hope Uzodinma is collecting as a security vote from Fulani is not enough for him. Does it mean Hope Uzodinma does not remember that one day that he will leave all this and die? Have you seen how wicked black people have become on earth? Now, tell me how a white people will see a black man as a human being after hearing all this nonsense. How? The white people will see you as a black man in America, in Europe, in any part of the whole world. How do you think that the white people will see you as a human being? Only black people are fighting tooth and nail to be a slave in the whole world. Only black people. Only Nigeria only Igbo people. Somebody called Simon Ekpa now. Simon Ekpa is the worst thing happened to Igbos. He's one of them, Simon Ekpa. And when somebody calls Simon Ekpa on this platform, some people will start to challenge and say that you are promoting Simon Ekpa. Why do you call him his name on this platform? I'm asking, how can somebody not call Simon Ekpa his name? The name that people know him, you call buffoon in Finland. What is buffoon in Finland? You some call criminal in Finland. They say they are not calling Simon Ekpa name on Radio Biafra. For what?
Mazi, is this the
Then
bone of
how
contention?
people will know him as the worst thing, as a criminal living in Finland? I was even thinking, is it not a time you will take Simon Ekpa to court in Finland? Let people start to hear that IPOB has taken Simon Ekpa to court in Finland, so that the world will hear what is going on. The whole kidnapping in Igbo land is Simon Ekpa. He has collected so many criminals through Hopus or Dema, and they are destroying their place. There was a time, Senator, when we talk on this platform, there was a voice note where Simon Ekpa is giving command for those people who are kidnapping people in Imo State. Those documents supposed to take and go to court with Simon Ekpa, so that people will know this evil man, that don't remember that one day he will die. Each time when I think about all this nonsense, I continue getting annoyed more and more. Let us take Simon Ekpa to court
it's okay. Ndewo. Thank you very much. This is not what we are trying to discuss today, please. I have allowed so many Simon Ekpa ka discuss Ghana ihe niile ikuga, please. Thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on that name even irritates me, honestly speaking. So we here today. I will know here I can discuss Simon Ekpa. What the Nigerian government is pulling, will be putting it on somebody, a butterfly that is not, that is calling. Let us call a spade a spade. Nigerian government is multifaceted. Let us be wise in whatever we are doing. We go to the source. Whatever that is happening in our land is being sponsored and financed by the government, by Hope Uzodinma in Imo State. That is simple and sure. Not leaving the main person and going to call somebody that we have known that is a, what capacity does he have? What capacity? Is the government. What we are doing is the government, the Nigerian government, through Hope Uzodinma, that is pulling all this. That is it. So let us be wise. Or I put no, just out of we must continue. Caller on signal. Oh no, oh my brother, you are back. I don't know what happened. You muted your mic or somebody called you. Please round up, Maz. The caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Please go on. Round up. Oh, sorry, I didn't even plug you. Sorry. Caller on WhatsApp. Please go on. Can you hear me? Maazi Tony, Prince Tony, can you hear me? Maazi Prince, go on then. I've been talking to you. Please go on. Go on.
yesterday being Friday to Owerri for matriculation of my son, and at Okpala, before Okpala, as we are living between boundary, the boundary between Abia and the Imo, that bridge, immediately you cross that bridge, just a pole from that bridge. The army was there at the bridge, but these people, they were with a this small golf, this bus called golf, that car. So there were 3 boys there, and these boys, I suspect that they are the kidnappers and the organ harvesters. But it happened that that day, that Friday was a bad day to them. The police caught them there with AK-47 or 45, I don't know. 3 of them, three AK-45. They caught them there and bring them down there. So when we were passing, that was in the morning. Immediately I saw this boy, I said yes, because if it were to be ordinary armed robber, they would have challenged the police. But because these are young boys that are into this business doing so, I want to advise our people, so anybody applying that road between Aba to Owerri should be vigilant, because these people, they are out to cause mayhem. Thank you, Mazi. May Chuko Kadiama bless you and bless our leader, Mazi Namdekano.
There woman say. Caller on let me see. Caller on signal. Mazia Kas, I think you are. Go on, please. Can you hear me? Yes, go on. Go on. Let me see. Can you hear me? Please go on. Wait, your voice is not coming out. It's from here. You don't worry. Don't worry. I'm trying to regulate it. Can you hear me now? Okay, let me see. Okay, continue talking. Let me see. Yes, yes, yes.
And we must continue to speak this gospel to the ears of our people, so that just as one of our brothers said, when Biafra will come and we want to make our constitution, it will be very easier for us to make a constitution without India this nonsense from Europe, not to disrupt what we are doing. And today, everything we are saying here already, Biafra is sinking, and we begin to understand the reason why we must do away with all this rubbish and go back where we started from our forefathers. Fellow Biafras, lovers of freedom, my name is Mazia Kas. I'm calling from Austria, and I serve the Indigenous People of Biafra as IPOB, Austria National PRO. Master Jonathan, please allow me to make this important announcement. It's very, very important that I must do so. IPOB Austria is also inviting all of us of freedom and Biafrans once again to ESN fundraising, which is going to take place on 3rd of August 2024. ESN funding, we must do this because these men and great women that have been taking care of our land, making sure that Fulani herdsmen will not, keep on killing our people in the bushes, we must support them. We must support them. So IPOB Austria is calling us once again, please join us on 3rd of August 2024 so that we can support the ESN. And the time is 4 p.m. Biafran time. Also, the same time here in Austria, 4 p.m. Biafran time, the same time here in Austria. And this ESN fundraising is going to take place in Zoom meeting. And please, if you've not have a Zoom, please try to download on your handy, because
because it's going to be a great fundraising on that particular day. So the Zoom meeting ID, please, if you have a pen, try to put it down. The Zoom meeting ID is 841 50232209. I repeat, Zoom meeting ID 8415023209, and the passcode is ESN. Passcode ESN. We have a special guest on that particular day, Mazi Osnabanyim, the IPOB European rep, is going to be on that particular day to speak to us. And the host of this fundraising is IPOB Austria National Coordinator, Mazi Nandiongumer. The moderator of that day is Mazi Metusalangwa Metuzedek, and the assistant moderator is Mazi Mweke. And please, we have a telephone number that if you want to contact us on that particular day, which is on 3rd of August, which is about next week Saturday, the telephone number is +43 676 96 70 745. I repeat for the last time, +43 676 96 70 745. You can contact us on that particular day, and we are pleading that everybody that are supporting this struggle join us so that we can support these men and women that have been suffering for us, starving themselves because they want our land to be safe. We've heard what the report our brother is giving today, which is our land is boiling and people are taking responsibilities to make sure that our bushes are safe. We must support them. So, Master Jonathan, thank you, my beloved brother. I just want to quickly say that, just as you said today, if these people really want us to, they really want us to be alive, or what they brought to us, they think is the one of the best thing they can give to black man. Believe me, a white man cannot give you something you are going to benefit from it. Even as they are going to space to go and look for one or two things, maybe looking for gold in space. If they find any conducive place for them to stay there, Mazi, believe me, Hagan never, maybe
they will destroy here. The world will be in trouble. Mazi, when I continue studying their characters right from time, even before, right from time, I see that these people, they don't have, they are ruthless. I am telling you. Go on, Mazi, go on.
Mazi, our brother also said that only a traveler have a lot of experience than even an old man that have a white green hair that have no sense sitting in somewhere in Africa. Mazi, we've seen these people. We know how they roll. We can read their mindset, the way they think about us. These people actually, they don't want anything that will benefit Africa for them. They would make sure they truncate it and make sure that thing is not going to work. Just as you said before, Master Jonathan, common electricity. They are taking mineral, taking our gas, even to the extent to come to a high from our Igbo land, want to connect a pipe from ocean to France, to bringing it here from Africa. They want to spend billions of euro or dollars to connect a gas from Malibo to Europe. And you say this, so this type of people will see this thing they bring to us, say no Bible. No one knows something that will benefit them, they will give it to a black man. When we are saying this thing, some of our people that have been, brainwashed with this thing, and when we see a black man, even he's ready to kill his own brother because of what a white man wrote on paper, organize it with the way to suit them to keep on doing us what they are doing us up to today. The black brother is ready to kill his own mother because of this thing.
But I thank Chukwokika Biama that we have made up our mind that we will never capitulate in this gospel we are preaching. Whether they like it or they don't like it, our people must hear it. And the thing is sinking. Mercy, believe me, we are not going to find it difficult when Biafra come to make sure that he and that I get you why you push or the hell number. I get you why you push it. None I beg you for no problem. But Biafra is going to be the talk of the town. You must obey the law of Biafra. That's the way they do it here, Mazi. In their churches, this new generation, none of them want to go to this their church. So old women, one or two of them, they will hurry but high school times, repeat again. What they are doing now is recruiting I know recruiting him to Reverend Father, shipping them here in Europe to come and be, serving them. Mimi are here, at Oziba. Oh, yeah, a buyer against what does the Reverend Father here now? They're supposed to marry and give birth to children. I know recruit to him, but all we are saying is that I would always be here before God and man. They won't give it to us. And thank you to Kabiama that Ndubaya Matagon Kenemen question has been asking, and none of them can be able to answer because you cannot answer what you didn't write. You cannot answer what you don't know when even that thing started. You cannot give an answer. Oh, here. When you call them here to come and debate, nobody wants to come. And none as well now where we see watching it, we must continue. May I continue to bless you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. They want you.
We must continue. Of course. Of course. If this thing is a reality or really what was meant, honestly speaking, they will not give to you. Look at uranium Niger. Look at how they are exploiting Africa now. To the extent nothing. Nigeria, ordinary electricity. If Britain, for example, if Europeans, if the West they have heart, they are so good as many of our primitive-minded people think. They would have heard the Nigeria government say, "Oh yeah, at least, okay, we are gaining, we are benefiting, exploiting, but let us give them electricity." Look at Dangote. Today, Dangote have stepped on the foot or on their foot in oil. That's why it's having crisis, all of them. Because there are no go areas. Nigeria. Do you know what suffering they are suffering our people in Nigeria? Do you know what it means? No electricity. Many people should have been. They learned the work of welding. They were electricians, but no electricity. They cannot afford to buy the generator that will be providing electricity for them to work and be making gain. Every day buying fuel. It's impossible. So you see some of them become kidnappers. But in Britain love it. When they look at, sometimes they will call, they will say, okay, we need 2,000 sheet packers in Britain. Go Nigeria, bring them. Oh, yeah. That is what, when you go to Britain now, they will be treating you that they saved you. Look at your country. But you don't know that they are one of the main causes that are causing all these things in your country. They always want to play God, that they save you. Oh, in the Sahel fighting terrorism. So you welcome them, they will be there mining everything, stealing everything they see there. And you will be taking them as your savior. They'll be taking away, cutting out everything. That is how they are right from beginning. We know them. That's how they are. And they will be twisting your mindset to be taking them that, oh, they are your demigod. They are your God. They are your God. You welcome them. You take them, worship them. Oh, they are very good. Now lie. I'm telling you. Now lie. Caller on direct line. Yeah, Mazi. Go on, go on, go on. Before I call us on WhatsApp, please hold on. And
Good evening, Director of State. I'm making on your life. God will still strengthen you people. You know, Mazi, sometimes when we talk here on our platform and when we do our presentation, we always pray. And we pray recognizing God. Then when we talk about the morality, the similarity between morality and salvation to respective religions, people think we don't know what we are doing, that we are hallucinating and we are just, doing a propaganda against either Christianity or any other religion. The thing is that I realize that a lot of people still know that there is a defect in whatever religion that was introduced to him or her somewhere, without the one that has been rooted from the race or maybe ethnicity he or she came out of. But meanwhile, before I go on, you were talking about morality. So I just want to justify something. Let me find out if it's real. When you are talking about somebody who picked up phone and he gave back to a woman, as a case study, the woman wants to appreciate with money and all that. At the end of the day, say, take this money, and the person replies, don't worry, go, I'm a Christian and all that. And you finally say, no, it's more better off you say you're a Biafran. I'm now looking at it in this other way. Yes, it's a good a good remark to use to say you're a Biafran, but is it not somehow sounding in relativity for now the same way a Christian who picked up a phone and say I'm a Christian and he goes that way and walk away, which means like what you're saying, you're making a point too. I realize that you're saying that the person has sold himself or herself off from his traits, maybe from his history. Okay, so now I'm only saying, instead of us using Biafra at this moment, that would never, convince much people, the whole world, that we are good.
oh, Mazi, your line, maybe your airtime finish. Mazi, what I want to say on this thing is this: even if you don't tell the person I'm a Biafran, you're an Igbo man. Tell him I'm an Urobo, I'm a German. This is how we behave. This is how we are trained to behave. No, I'm a German. If you're an German, I'm a Nefik man. I'm a Urobo man. I'm Igbo man. This is how we are. So it's very simple. Because after all, you are not a Christian. You are just a butterfly claiming to be a bird. You are made to be a Christian. You are not a Christian. If an European claims, say, I'm a Christian, it's believable, it's understandable because they are. But you are not. It's through conquest, through colonization, you become one. You understand? It's like that. So that is the reality. So when you do something good and you want to ascribe that your goodness to the imposed religion you are, which means you are accepting the fact that without it, which means you are simply, even your family that trained you, your father's name you are answering is useless. You understand? Without knowing it, that is what you are showcasing. But when you call the where you come from, I'm an Igbo man. We Igbos, you don't. If imagine that you did it to a foreigner, for example, a person, maybe a foreigner that doesn't know much about, let me say, Nigeria, and you pick his wallet, and after you start looking and go and give it to him, he say, oh, you are so good. What is it? Why are you doing this? Other people would have taken it. I have maybe $400 in it, and even everything is intact. Why? He said, no. You know what? In my own nation, I come from the nation of Igbo nation. So is how we are. We are trained. Our culture forbids stealing. Do you know that you are directly portraying to that person who you are? You understand? You never know. He will now pick interest on this person. He say, what do you say? He say, Igbo, okay, okay. You start questioning you. Now you are now an ambassador of your nation. Let's call it Igbo nation. If you don't want to say I'm a Biafran, Igbo, you are from Igbo tribe. Yeah, majority, this is how we behave. The person now, another day, if he sees another person, he will ask him, are you Igbo? If you say yes, he will take that person as a very good person. You understand? So that is marketing. That is, portraying who you are. But once you say Christian, he will laugh and say, Christian, okay, that's why you, okay, good, you go his way. Because for him, hereditally, maybe he's more Christian than you, historically. Caller Maz, please go on. You are, I don't know whether it's your data that finished or don't know. Go on.
Yeah, no, not really that. It's direct call. So I'm enjoying you. The spirit works. What I was trying to suggest is either one says I'm an IPOB. When I mean IPOB, this section of family that have been formed by Mazen Namdekan, or maybe you say you're an Igbo, because I've witnessed a lot of things from this platform that so many of them, like Mecca Oko, where they gave just business to help his family and his people, to generate supply light. He is not a Biafran, but he's not doing anything. So I'm really buying the idea of either you say you're an Igbo or you say you're an IPOB, and they will recognize you and respect you. Then keep that on track. I want to ask another question that's been eating me up. Now, pertaining to this issue of Christianity, something touched me and said, let me ask this question and realize who was that triggered up this question. Because when I was reading somewhere when they used to teach us this in the scripture, they said that a God came, the God of Christian came, and he said, come, let us make man in our own image. Then is it not me here now, and you and every other person I'm seeing as a human being? Is there any other man that he asked to make that somebody now said that his God is superior than every other God, which means I've been existing, but the God, Lord Luga, that have died and with his brothers came and said, okay, let's make these monkeys and baboons, the useless idiot Africa when no get sense, that does not want to stand up and reason, realize that what the effect of the white is dependent on them surviving from our resources. He now choose to say, okay, let me call these idiots since they don't want to wake up and create my kind of person and control them so that they'll be behaving the way I want them to behave. So I want to ask that question to allow some people come to your table and see that, because this thing is still, because very soon, okay, see, they are going embarking on a protest in few hours from now, if they will, because I know they are cowards. So I'm asking them, can't they pinpoint out their head of religions like Ibiomi, all of them, Adeboye, all of, let them front themselves at the front without their Jesus blood. Let me see if they will not go down immediately. I know.
You always conclude with I don't know. It's a rascality, I could say. But we must continue. The question of what you brought out is better being asked to the clergy and those defending. So I will not dive into that, the details, please. Let us continue. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Please go on. Caller on signal.
Yes, Master Jonathan.
Udodrege.
Master Jonathan, good evening, sir.
In there, Udodrege.
My name is Mazi Fine.
Mazi, Ganiru now, Ganiru. Go on. Mazi, go on.
I hope I'm coming out.
Mazi, you are stopping. I don't know. Are you stopping? Go on. You are coming out. Go on.
All right, all right. What I want to say this night, Mazi, you see, yes, if anybody that doubting that this that our people are practicing is being brought to us, I don't know whether that person, whether I can qualify the person as a human being or I can define the person as an animal. Religion was brought to us and by force, they forced our forefathers to accept it. It's not our way of life. Initially, it's not. Our people in the olden days, our land forbid blood. We don't kill. We don't spray blood. As let me bring this my topic today to the concerning the governor's son who killed the India man
Chinese,
because
a
of
Chinese in
Chinese
in India.
yes. Let me brought this my view to that, which you see, after they are trying to pay a huge amount of money to cover the case, but you must see the response of the Indians. They say that this is not their way. That anybody that killed or spread blood is a
It's a crime
problem.
against
It's a
the
cause.
state. It's a crime against the
Yes, it's a
state.
crime
It's no more crime
against
against that
the.
individual only.
That is it, and that is how it is in our land. Then, in our land, then, according to what my father told me, that when you kill someone, when you kill your fellow brethren or Igbo man or your brother, without anybody being there, before you die, you will, before you die, maybe on a usual sickness will come to that person. From that sickness, the person will start confessing how many people that he have killed, how many blood that they have wasted, without going to maybe native doctor, or without going to any place to verify, or without going to any shrine to find out who killed that person. But bear it in mind that before the person will go down, before the person will die, he will be person. That's how it is in our land. Before these white men brought religion to us. But I thank God. Maz, I thank you. And our people have waken up, Maz. I'm telling you the fact. I told you that I evangelize, I tell people that this religion that brought to us by white men is a scam. And Maz, as I'm talking to you today, it happened to my presence. I see one of our brother, because I call any Igbo person is our brother. I call him my brother. He was standing and telling people that the religion which white men brought to us is a scam. Maz, I was so much happy. That's what makes me to say that our people have waken up. Our people have waken up. What we are doing, we are not doing it to stand against anybody. We are fighting for the freedom of everybody. Even our politicians that have so lost takeover. We are fighting this freedom for them, even their unborn generation. But what marvels me that they think that me and you and the other people that in IPOB as a genuine, we are fighting it for just our selfish interest. No, we are fighting it for everybody. And that is why whatever that happens to any of our brothers, as long as you are Igbo man, we don't feel happy. We don't rejoice to it, because our enemies are not sleeping. And that is why, like our brother says, our so-called politicians, even if you don't come out openly to say that, yes, you want your people to be free, my brother, they know you. They know that secretly you are supporting. Even if you don't come out to say that, yes, you are IPOB or you are that, even our enemies knows that, yes, you are sympathizer. And then we find means, then we find way to kill you. Then we find anyhow to eliminate you if you don't know that. So our politicians must be careful. We must know where to go and where not to go, because our enemy can never sleep. Mazi, may God bless you. Thank you for your good work. We must continue. May God bless you. Good night from here. Mazi, thank you. Thank you.
There were. We must continue. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Are you paying attention to another thing? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp for the last time. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
Good evening, sir.
There were.
Udochukwu Kabia Madere ge Amadike. Udochukwu Kamadere Amadike. Mazi Jonathan. Ndewo, sir. Mazi Nsekanti to on biko Mazi Ndewo la ebu na religion. Ejigo ya ebiga kere Mazi. Mazi ebera kere. So kante to maka ye emego na my family sha. Nga ko tanke me because all the aditi can dey face. Ye face rim can dey face. Mazi my mother nwụrụ. So I na-akpakọ ka anyị ga-esi wee jee beli arịa. Akpọ ụmụnne m na village kwụsị ka ga-esi wee jee ụlọ ụka ebe ma mụda na-aka ụka nke ya. Ka anyị jefu ka anyị bago na date. So orukwe ụmụnne m ndị nwaanyị na-abụ mmadụ na asị na mụ na ha ga-eso wee jee ndị tọsịrị m. So onye atata bụ Satọde na echi na bụ Sọnde ka anyị ga-eje. So mkpọ ụmụnne m si ha onye nkụzọ si ya nna ka anyị ga-esi wee jee ka anyị kwado jee. Onye nkụzọ mba na-akpọkwana ya n'usokwe eje ebe ahụ. Minwa yawa na-eje ihe dịka Pentikọstal. Onye nkụzọ na-eje Virgin Maria. Ma mụda na-eje ụka ndị ụka ndị white abụzụ ụka na-akpọ abụzụ ma mụda na-eje. So nsi ya na ihe fara abụrụ ihe na-eje bụ ka ife ise date na ya dị osim mba n'ụka nke ha megidere dat nke my mother ahụ. Ọkwa ndị na-ekpe n'afa Jizọs, onye nke dị na-ekpekwa n'afa Jizọs. Nsi eke ya imini na-ebịa ka ije visit ndị a control onye dị mgbe onye nke Virgin Maria osim mba na otego o ji asị mma ya pụtaba na Virgin Maria hai na ikegwu maazị mana ejebe m ebe a sọmụa wite ebe mụa ka a tọsịrị ndị ụka reject ya maazị si na m ga-eje kpọta ụmụnne m ndị tọrọ m na anyị ga-adị bụ ịtọ. Maazị nsị ndị a ha hapụ m n'ọnwa chọrọ ini my mother maka afụgo m ihe niile na-aga religion ka eji tigoro ọgbaghara. So maazị finally ka m bie okwu nke finally jekpọtazie one man from village ma onye ọsọ ọbịa mee mmadụ pụọ. I conclude ka ga-esi wee my mother. So my father ihe njiwe na-ekwu ya brọda ndị ejigoro religion mgbu anyị kere ụmụnne na-agba uwe ha wụọ ọkwa serious war ka ebido. So advice m na-enye onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo bụ onye Biafran ị na-amụ nwa na-amụ ya ịtọ ịnọ ise awagwa na awa tinye nwa gị n'ụlọ ụka just where the reality where fast and figure kọwara eziokwu ejikwana tinye ya n'ụlọ ụka si n'ụka Jizọs chewere gị ma Jizọs chewe ewekwe Jizọs ga-emewuru gị. Maazị ka iyi na-ekwu ọ na-ese ma mụ na ndị mmadụ n'ime afọ ibe ikwute okwu esi na ewekwe Jizọs ga-emewu gị n'ọkụkọ mma na iji aka emewu ife anyị ga-emewere ụwa anyị. Ha na-ekpezi ekpere ka ihe mee gị ka a sị nọ Jizọs ahụ na-akọndem nọ Jizọs ahụ na-akọndem. So ama m ka ndị mmadụ si
iro obi ọhịa religion butere anyị iro obi
na maazị ike gwụ m biko Udochukwu Kabia Madere gị maazị iru n'oziọma n'ezi anyị na-aba.
Ndewo
nwa Chineke.
We must continue. I think this is where I'm going to switch off the phones. Please, calls are coming, but I'll no longer pick the calls, please. You see the testimony of our brother. That is it. I know the car. Oh, yeah, I experience every time. Oh, yeah, what the same Jesus the same Bible man, I try carry her into pieces. Onya sino I know they go there. Onya cannot. When two brothers and sisters cannot work together, how do you think that we can form a country that will work for us? So we combine and work. Our work due to belief. People are making mistakes, saying, "No, preaching this is preaching division," because you are ignorant. Look at the lines I open. I wanted people to come with opposing argument. Tell me that, look, how this thing we are preaching will bring a division. Instead of the divisions we have been in our family. Look at somebody. or sick agamel, onion casino, Adama go onye Virgin Maria, onya ama Jehovah, onya assembly. So none of them can agree. How do you think we can agree with this mentality for a country to make a law? No, tell me, tell me. I want to know. I want to know. Let us stop talking out of a sentiment, out of emotion. No. Let us face reality. We must face reality. Religion divided us. With our values, we come together. It is only our values that will bring us together and nothing more. Because what Europeans, but they know, they look at the seed they sowed since 1857. 1957 is 100 years. 2057 we make it 200 years. Less than 200 years. This character that we have now, this division, it never matured like this, even in 1980s. It's now seed they sowed since 150 years plus ago. It's now that we are seeing the fruit, the evil fruit, complete, abound, in our lives, in our places. Is what we are suffering today. That is why when I see people that are laughing at what we are doing, that tomorrow now you go to church, they say they will video and say, see, church is full everywhere now, so they are not listening to you. I laugh. You know, our people like shortcut. They thought that you sow seed today, tomorrow you repeat. No, it will go. They see the same way they sowed the seed since 1857 in Igbo land. And the people thought that nothing mega, we are together. It is now the complete pure evil fruit is watching us bearing in our land. The same way, what we are doing is a gradual process. Hang people. I see people before they so acidic or whatever, but now they have lowered their voices. Because when you reason what we preach, your mind, your conscience will tell you, this is the reality. It's true. That is the only thing I want, and that is the only thing that makes me happy. Now, once again, your conscience will continue fighting. You will now start modifying yourself if you are, in order to bring maybe not to bring is it shame? Out of shame, you will now be saying things in a way, but it's no more like, because you and your conscience is hustling. But if you're a direct, truthful person, you will come out and say, nah, I was this and that before, but now I was doubting before, I was against before, but what you're saying is true. You come openly. But connect people will be going down and talking one way or the other because they don't want to come out openly. A man and they are only connect. That is the thing. But we must continue sowing the seed. Because what we are doing is genuine liberation. Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Without emancipation from mental slavery, physical slavery will continue holding. Removing ourselves from physical slavery will be very hard. I went to Biafra. That is I will a war because you'll be defending foreign culture. You'll be defending foreigners' religion, being against your people. Somebody that cannot agree with his brother in the same house, because of they are Christians, but because he's going, this one is going Assemblies of God Church, a Pentecostal, the other one is going Catholic. How do you think that, as a group, as a country, we can agree together with the mindset, with that type of mindset? This is a question it's a rhetorical question. I want you to, reason about it and over it. For people that are saying, no, leave this in, you are saying division. No, we are bringing cohesion to ourselves. We are bringing peace because our value, our culture means peace. Onyaga na one name means peace. Agreeing together, being together with one voice means peace. Something that we move together for our collective interest, not for the interest of your pastor, because your pastor say because you are a man of God, quote Bible. Bible says, now you don't consider your brother, your people. You believe what the Bible says and continue doing it to the detriment of our collective interest. Do you see? After all, Jesus said he come to put confusion. And you say, well, you quote it. Say, yes. Jesus said he come to put confusion between brother and sister, between wife and husband. And I don't care. I have to obey the voice of Jesus other than obey the voice of man. But you are living in the planet of man. You are going on human principle. You are eating. You are drinking as a man. You are driving car as a man. You are charging phone as a man. But when it comes to reasonability, you say, no, you are not going to accept. Think about it. This is all we are preaching. This is what we represent. This is what the seed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sowed. And it is growing. We must continue maintaining it. No going back. Biafra remains who we are. So, in this case also, as you may know, it pains me that this young man died, honestly. When I had it, I was pained. He's a politician, yes, but he's a very young man. Ifanyoba. It pains me. Why should he die? Without sickness? There is something sinister. That is why Igbo politicians must be very cautious of visiting United Kingdom on any medical matters. Igbo politician. It's the same way they killed our eternal general, Ojukwu. They took him to the greatest enemy. I think it's a IPOB that took him to London, approved to be taken to United Kingdom. He's the greatest enemy. Why not take him another place, even Spain, even Barcelona? They decided that, but London. These people that want to, how already advanced poison. Do you give you advanced poison and you die of a cardiac arrest? They will do autopsy and say you died of a heart attack. Finish. We must be wise. Let us know our enemies and how to treat with them. That is why Fulani, they are wiser politically. I know actually with our enemy. You think they don't know you? You think they are laughing with you? Why should he die? Why? We must continue. Biafra remains who we are. Biafra is our ideology, our religion, and everything. Thank you for listening. To remember tomorrow, as you all know, Mazi Chinas Anworu will be coming on Biafra television. So you must listen. It's an interactive session. You understand? We must continue what we are doing. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan, and from here, it is good evening.
Anijala,